tapping. And then it says we're live. I hope that's true. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Casual AF, the gaming stream so casual. Half the time, 80% of the time, I don't even start up a fucking video game. And that's it. No one's ever going to get the notification because I swore in 10 seconds in. There we go. It's over. It's over.
I'd say 95% of the time you don't even play a game.
Yeah, I know. I played the game like, what, twice maybe?
I think so. You were messing around with Sims
This is
at one
episode
point.
14.
Yeah, you did Sims and something else. I can't remember what the other one was.
I think it was Caesar. Or did I keep threatening to start Caesar and never actually do it?
Maybe. Good evening, all. I'm co-host Chris Bragg.
So casual, I forgot to introduce the co-host. There you go. This
they know me. They know me.
We're so good at this.
Yeah. This is the worst stream ever. No.
And it's been fucking sniped, hijacked. Some other casual AF guys are gonna have thousands and thousands.
That's right. Yeah, with a guy called Craig in it.
Yeah,
the co-host called Craig, which is so weird. Eh? What are the chances? What are the chances?
They're out to get me.
I don't see any comments yet, but that doesn't.
They're out to get me.
Who?
Who indeed?
Who's they?
So,
how you been?
How are you, Greg?
I'm good. I'm good. I had a good week. Pretty quiet at work. I've been to the gym a few times. Getting back into the swing of things. Oh, I have a happy story that was a real huge ego boost. The wife and I, we take the dog to Brawny Creek Provincial Park because it's right near our house. It's like 12-minute drive away. And they've got a nice big leash-free area there. It's like two kilometers worth of trail and stuff. There's no fences. There's no like wood chips or anything. It's just a nature trail that dogs can go leash-free on. Anyway, we go there pretty regular, at least twice a week. And there's this young couple with a little kid, like tiny baby last time we saw her, and a dog called Spot, who was actually from the same rescue as Kenzie. And Spot and Kenzie, they would chase each other and get along all the time at the park. Anyway, so I'm walking Kenzie yesterday, and she sees another dog just across the road, and she gets really excited. I'm like, who's that? Do you know who that is? And she's like going nuts, right? And then they cross the road, and I realize, oh my God, it's that couple. And I didn't realize they lived in our area. Apparently, they just moved last year to our area. Anyway, so we're chit-chatting and catching up and sort of stuff. And the wife says to me just as we finish, "You're looking really good, by the way." I'm like, "Oh, thanks very much. You too." Because the last time she saw me, I was this flabby piece of crap, right? Double chin, big fucking gut, flabby legs, flabby everything, right? So I'm happy. I'm happy. Oh, and that keys right into Old Man Fitness. That's great.
Because, my dude, you're getting Myers.
I'm getting Myers, eh?
Yeah. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling.
My trainer says, now he might have to say this just to keep me motivated. He says, no, I can see a difference. You definitely, you've improved in terms of your physical shape, so to speak.
So, yeah, and even if it's like just your capability, and he's like, maybe he can't, but if you can, right? Like, you're not imagining it; it's happening.
Yeah, it is. It is. I wish it was more pronounced, and I wish it was happening quicker. But I still have till December 1st, man. And I'm like, and my last training is next week, so I'm done with Chevy next week. So July on, he's at a tournament. He's at a bodybuilding competition in BC for the second week of July. So for July, August, September, October, November, I'm essentially on my own. I'm probably going to do like pay as you go kind of thing with him. To say, hey, let's do a couple sessions next week kind of thing, right? I'm not going to go on another schedule, 2 sessions a week for 6 weeks or anything like that. I'll just go, hey, can I book a session with you next Wednesday? Yeah. So that's good. That was very ego boosting. So
yeah, I know. And he even talked to him about like setting you up a program that you can follow without him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
because
talked about that. I said, so what should I work on when and that kind of stuff. Because my goal is to go at least 4 times a week, and if I can do 5 times a week, I will. Because
yeah,
and I have to, like, after this trip in July where we're going on a cottage weekend or cottage week. We're actually going away for a week to a cottage, um, where I'm probably going to be eating kind of crappy, hot dogs and shit like that. Um, After that week, I'm gonna really dial in my diet and just like try and cut down carbs as much as I can. Um, Eat tons of fucking protein. Uh, you know, Monitor my fat content, that kind of stuff, and yeah, really work at it so that I'm not undoing a lot of my work that I'm doing at the gym by eating poorly. You know what I mean?
yeah. No, I know. Because have the same trouble, right? Like I can eat for a much larger man than I am. I know because I used to be a much larger man.
Oh, did
Uh,
you?
yeah, yeah.
Were
I'm
you a
like,
fat guy?
yes, but it didn't look like that
Yeah.
because I have pretty good fat distributions. I sort of put it on everywhere really slowly.
Okay.
So at first, people were asking me, "Have you been working out?" And I was like, "No, what the fuck are you talking about?" And then, yeah, I one day I got on the scale. I didn't like the number, and yeah, I lost 60 pounds,
Oh,
but
nice.
I've thank you. I've kept 50 of that off for years now. So like I got down to like my lowest was 151.4. It was basically my high school weight, and now I hover about 160. Right.
I am. I weigh myself periodically. I don't do a weekly thing or a daily thing or like that. When I started working out, I was 239 pounds. Last time I weighed myself, I was about 235, and I'm hovering around 235, and I'm like, I can't seem to lose the weight, Chev. And he's like, yeah, but you're putting on muscle, so don't
Yeah.
worry about it, you know. And I says, and I got to get rid of these love handles. Like, those are the last to go, man. Your love handles are going to stick with you until they're gone. Like, and that's all done, by diet and activity level and everything like that.
Yeah. Oh, this is
We got
something.
we got some comments from Costa.
Oh, we do. Okay, let's greetings, wonderful, wonderful seeming, wonderful adjacent people. Greetings, Costin. Thank you for coming.
Hey,
Change
Costin,
the
good to
status
see
of
you,
your
buddy.
health. Consume your daily allotment of Slurpees. Oh, terrible. Terrible.
I am swearing by these little flavor shots. Those little bottles that, like,
Yeah.
Mio was the one that sort of started it recently, um, and or a little while ago. And I love these little flavor shots because they're 0 calories. You put a couple of squirts in a big thing of water, and it's like you're drinking Kool-Aid.
Really? No
It's
sugar?
really tasty. I don't mind water, but I prefer flavored water. This has got citrus and pineapple.
Oh,
It's pretty damn tasty. Costin says he only weighs 361 pounds. Am I underweight? LOL. Depends on how tall you are. If you're 8'9", then I think you're fine.
oh.
I
I
would
was
prefer plain water. Yeah,
playing.
that's good. Water's good. It's what our body was designed to drink.
Yeah, like we worked in tandem with it for millions and millions of years.
Yeah.
All the living things, really.
Milk when we're very, very young, and then water the rest of the time. And then the Irish invented alcohol, and
No,
we were never the same.
no. God invented alcohol so the Irish wouldn't rule the world.
That's it. That's it. I remember that Family Guy bit. That was funny.
Oh, okay. What was I? I had a thought. Oh, yeah, this was funny. I wish I had the post pulled up. So you know how there's a body positivity, fat acceptance, healthy at every size
Yes.
bullshit,
Yeah.
and it's not even like, oh, hey, look, don't make fun of fat people. That's just mean. Okay, I could be like, yeah, that's fine, right?
You shouldn't, especially fat people who are trying to not be fat.
Well, that's like that's the thing is now it's mutated into it's not just it's okay to be fat. It's like it's actually good to be fat. It's beautiful and healthy and better than being thin or fit.
Yeah,
So yeah, you're all disgusting, thin, fit, privileged people and shit like that.
yeah,
And very
heard of it.
like everyone should be fat. It's really a terrible like it's just gone so fucking crazy. And I just read some amazing posts of poor people. Is that an animal entering the room?
Yeah,
Thought you were about to get
that's
murdered.
Mr. Mac. That's my kitty. He's here
Okay.
to say hello. That's okay.
I'm just glad you're not getting murdered by a skinwalker. Okay. Creepy door opens in the back of the fucking
Yeah, you see these
the
two white
shot.
eyes
Yeah.
in the darkness.
Oh dear. Uh, so the posts I read, these were just fucking gold. A couple of body positive people by force. They had no choice. I think for one of them, it was their car broke down. They couldn't afford to fix it. So they sold the car for scrap and started walking to work and back.
Yeah.
20 minutes there and back. Over a period of weeks, their knees stopped hurting, their back wasn't sore out of bed, they'd lost 20 odd pounds, and they were fucking writing about how bitter they are about the fit people being right.
Ah! That's funny.
just
That is
just
so
move
funny.
more, you'll be fine. No, oh, now they're getting the exercise and they're mad.
Yeah.
They're mad that it's working.
Yeah. Well, because being proven wrong is like it's a tough pill to swallow, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I,
But I don't know how and that's the thing. They would feel so much better about themselves if not only walking to work 20 minutes each way, if they actually started doing exercise. Because I
yeah,
cannot get over how good I feel after I exercise. I mean, I feel tired, absolutely, but that lasts for like 30 seconds. And as soon as I walk out the door into the nice fresh air,
I
as soon
feel
as I take a sip of
jacked.
as soon as I take a sip of my protein shake, I'm like, ah, like the protein shake is my reward for working hard. And so if I walk out of there, dripping sweat, my shirt is wet from sweat, I feel like, okay, I've earned this and I'm going to have this protein shake. And when I look at the caloric, content on the protein shake, it's like 330, 340 calories, whatever. But it's all good stuff. Like it's 340 calories
Yeah.
of good stuff. There's no added sugar. It's just protein powder, um, plain frozen yogurt. So not even sweetened frozen yogurt,
Mhm.
um, fruit, and I think that's about it. Just fruit and fruit juice. That's it.
Maybe
So
some
there's
kale.
sugar, but it's like natural sugar, right?
Well, hopefully it's balanced with enough, pardon me, fiber and such, right?
Yeah,
All the
because
protein.
it's like it's like uh, orange. They freeze like little orange slices, and they
And then
grind it
grind it
all
all
up.
up.
Like
Yeah.
they blend it all up. So yeah, I mean you don't get a lot of fiber when you juice stuff when you blend it all because all the fiber is basically being torn apart. But
Well, if you're juicing it, but if they're just grinding it up and leaving it all
yeah, it's
in
all
the
in
thing,
there. Yeah,
then you're good to go, right? So yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And yeah, but I mean, that was just so hilarious to me that they were bitter about it. But I mean, that actually goes to show that that kind of lifestyle
yeah,
is an addiction,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Like
That
sugar's an addiction.
yeah, like they know it's a little difficult, but their life does improve noticeably in a very short time with just some effort, and
Hmm.
they're mad because now they can't intellectually justify continuing the indulgence.
Right. It's why people like speaking away from health, but it's why people when you start arguing with them facts about you know, sex and gender, or you start arguing with them facts about abortion and life, like when life begins kind of thing, that's why they get upset because faced with reality, people who are, ideologically possessed don't like being told that they're wrong and don't like being proven that they're wrong because then they have to try and justify being wrong all that time and it's very seldom. I mean, I hope it's less seldom now. I hope more and more people are like I was fucking wrong, and I'm now I feel like I have more complete knowledge. But most people just get really fucking angry and say you're a bigot and a fascist and a racist and a hater and everything else. Anyway.
Well, just remember the modern day definition of fascist is
Mhm.
someone who's been called a fascist.
That's right. Well, I call you a fascist, so you're clearly a fascist. Same with racist. Same with homophobe,
Yeah,
transphobe.
yeah. It's more like a magic spell that gets cast upon you, and now it's true.
Yeah, it's like showing someone the evil eye.
Yeah.
You're cursed now because I showed you the evil eye. What?
But anyway, I hit a new bench record this week, so I'm pretty pleased
Nice.
too. Yeah, yeah.
Nicely done. What's your bench record now?
It's still baby weight, so I don't want to share the numbers. But
Okay.
suffice it to say, I increased my max bench weight for like really only like 5 reps the first set, but I did a second set for 4. So that's something, and I definitely felt jacked. So I was pretty
Well,
pleased. Pretty
my
pleased.
trainer has me doing uh, 10 to 12 reps, right?
Mhm.
So if he finds that I can do 10 reps without much difficulty, he asks me to go to 12. But when I'm doing bench press, so I started when he first started me on bench press, he put me at, let me see, it's a 45-pound bar. He put 15 on each side. So what is that? That's
75.
30, that's 75 pounds. And I did 3 sets of 10 reps with difficulty, but I was able to complete those reps. Then he upped it to 85, and this week we did 95. And I think I might have failed on the third set, but he said it was because I didn't rest long enough. He said you jumped into that third set too quickly. You could have done 10. So anyway, it is what it is. So I don't care about them being baby weights. I'm not embarrassed by that because, I mean, apart from this recent 2 months of exercise, I've never done it before. I've never
Yeah.
exercised. I relied when I was in my youth on having a high metabolism, being tall, and staying thin up until I was in my 20s. Then I started putting on weight, mainly when I, hit my 30s. That's when I really started putting on weight. But yeah, and then it just, sedentary lifestyle, sitting on my ass at a job all the time. It just, it puts it on you. It stays with you. So, and so
Yeah,
now
and,
I'm feeling really good about what I'm doing.
and I'll tell you that is from where my embarrassment stems. That I used to be quite athletic, even into
Mm-hmm.
my 20s,
Mm-hmm.
and then started getting sedentary. So when I don't want to share the weight that I'm lifting, it's because when I was like 16 years old and 140 pounds, I was benching like 185 per
Yeah,
rep.
yeah,
Right. So I don't want to share that this is like my over 40 new record.
right, right, right.
Right. My, yeah. So it's not the same thing. Like yeah.
But you know
I
what?
don't want
Like,
to share that. I'm not ready.
you should still feel good about the accomplishment of doing a new record for yourself, right?
And I do, but I'm not about to throw the numbers out. Like if you're in that, like, 'cause how long have you been doing it now? Is it
About
2 months?
2 months. Yeah,
Yeah.
July, yeah, June will actually. I'm probably 2.5 months. Uh, the end of this, yeah, end of June will be 3 months because that's when I started at the gym and that's when I started with training with Chevy. So yeah,
And I think I started going regularly early this calendar year. So like January or February is
yeah,
when I started really like going like 3, 4 times a week. And now I'm doing pretty much 5 times a week every week.
good, good.
Um,
That's my goal to get up to 5 times a week. I go roughly 4 times a week. I want to do 5 times a week going forward. When I'm done to train, see the thing is when I have training, right, I have to accommodate for that time because it's a set hour that I have to meet, right?
yeah.
I'll have much more flexibility at the end of June when I can decide to go any days I want. And what I'm really looking forward to is because I was doing Saturdays from noon to 1 for
Mhm.
2.5 months. I couldn't go play airsoft, and now I'm like, because the place where I like to go play in Oshwekin, they start at like 9 a.m. kind of thing, right? And I'm like, fuck, I'd like to go out there. It's a 45-minute drive, but I'd like to go out there and play because now I'm actually in shape and I can run around in the woods and I can
Right.
shoot my P90 and feel like I'm actually doing something, right? And so yeah, so now I'm going to be like, okay, uh, maybe I'll go later on the day in the day on Saturdays now. I'll go play airsoft for a few hours and then I'll come home, have some dinner, and then go to the gym for an hour in the evening. I actually find working out in the evening is much better. I enjoy it much more. How about that?
Mm. Yeah, like I go after work. Like the gym is right between my work and my home. So just go from work to the gym, and most days I'm in and out. Like like my workout is actually less than an hour.
Yeah,
I've managed to compact all my workouts closer, like less rest time, less break in between
yeah, yeah,
sets and exercises, even right.
yeah, yeah.
So now it's about 50 minutes, and then there's like changing time or whatever. But yeah, like most days I'm still home at 6:30, normal time to get home.
Yeah, see, because I work from home, I don't have to worry about changing work clothes into workout clothes and out and
Ah,
back out, right? So I get dressed when I know I'm going to go to the gym that day. I wear my workout clothes all day at work, and then I just drive to the gym. You know what I should start doing? Because they're open till midnight through the week. I should just start walking to the gym. It's a good long walk. It's like an hour long walk, but I mean, that's a good warm up, right? Because normally I get to the gym and I do 5 to 10 minutes of warm up on a treadmill, and then I do my exercise. So if I were to do my one, I would get my steps easily.
yeah, for sure.
I walk to the gym and then do my workout, and I typically go an hour, but I take longer breaks because I'm an old guy. So I rest for like a minute and a half to 2 minutes between sets, kind of thing, right? Um, and then I'll walk back. Or if I'm really really exhausted, I'll say, Melina, can you come pick me up? And then she'll come pick me up. Or I'll take an Uber if she doesn't want to come pick me up. But yeah, I'm excited about the progress I'm making. I'm excited about this journey, and I'm excited to look good in tights come December 1st.
You will. But see, again, a lot of that is the diet. That's what's going to happen in the kitchen,
Yes,
right?
right.
Because you can get stronger and build muscle, but if you're not do balancing it correctly to lose the weight, like to lose the fat around the middle,
Mm-hmm.
then that's just going to stay there. And
Well, I have lost it in the front. I can tell that I've lost it in the front, and I can feel my abs now, which is great underneath the fat. But it's the love handles, man. I gotta get rid of these love handles. They just look terrible. If you have the space, just buy exercise equipment off of Craigslist. That's the problem. I really don't have space in the house. Like every room is accounted for, and I don't have a lot of spare room in those rooms. So I have like a little set of dumbbells that I work with when I'm sitting at my desk working. But but yeah, if I were to get like a cable machine or something like that, I wouldn't have a place to put it. I have a treadmill in the basement that I never use. I used it when we got it, but I don't use it anymore.
and hello, Jack. And you know what? It sounds strange, but there is something about being around the people at the gym and everybody working. And this was also true when I was in karate. In karate, it's a little more tight knit, right? Like
Mhm.
everybody, and you're all like being taught by one sensei and all this. But even something silly the other day, I'm at fucking Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness, summertime. Every high school student can go to Planet Fitness for free.
Oh,
Did you know
really?
that? Yeah.
So it's full of kids.
It gets overrun with kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a little sometimes pain in the ass. But the other day, I'm hit my chest PR, my bench PR, but then I went to the butterfly machine,
Yep.
and this kid was like, "How many sets?" I was like, "You know what? I have no idea, but we can work in if you want." And as I'm pushing, like it's got to be my like sixth or seventh set. I was just everything's gravy. I'm just gonna go till I die here, right?
Yeah.
This has
Yeah.
been a
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
day. and I'm failing on like the 6th rep, and I can't get halfway. And that kid who was working with me starts going, one more, and I just fucking squeezed it out. I was like, thanks, man, fuck. And you
It's
don't get
true.
that
Like,
in
and
your home gym, you know?
it really does help. Like having Chevy there with me, it really does help. He's like, come on. Like I'm struggling on 9. He's like, come on, you can do it. And I finish 9 and then I do 10.
Yeah.
He's like, come on, you can do it. And I did it. Right. So yeah, having that there. Now that being said, I was there yesterday doing it on my own, and I'm counting out my reps. And when I start feeling that it's going to be difficult at like rep 7, and I'm going to 12, mind you, right? I'm not doing 10, I'm going to 12. I'm like, come on, you can do it. 5 more. And then 4 more. And I'm doing it myself. I'm doing the thing that he's doing for me when he's there, right?
Yeah.
Just so I can complete what I need to do.
Yeah.
Costin says we should drink those Slurpees. Get your simple sugars. Your uh, simple synthetic, or not synthetic. What do you call it? Refined sugars. That's right.
Refined
You
sugars, yeah.
need those simple refined sugars in your diet.
Come drink your high fructose corn syrup.
That's
We have
right.
you surrounded.
It's got everything. It's vegetable based. Can't be bad for you. Furry from Finley. Morning, boys.
Morning, furry.
Morning, Furry. We're in Ontario, so it's evening for us. It's about 9 p.m. I don't know where you are.
No. Australia, maybe?
Australia.
Straya?
Straya. Struth.
And yeah, so sometimes, yeah, like having the little bit of, coaching slash cheerleading.
Yeah, it's true. It does help.
Yeah.
It does help.
And
Absolutely.
like, it's so weird because I actually have like gym pals. It doesn't suit you boys. I think he means the accent.
No, I wouldn't think it does.
Oh, but yeah, like people that you see at the gym all the time. And it's funny because you'll see people show up once or twice over a period of a few weeks and then never come back. And it's
Yeah,
like, yeah, that's too bad,
the casuals.
but exactly. Casual AF. And but you see the people that have been there that were there when you started and they don't look at you at all, but then you've been there several months and you're going all the time, and now they start going, "What's up?" And you're not
Yeah,
having a conversation, you don't exchange names or anything, but it's
no,
just like, "How's it going?" And you just go on, but it's like, yeah, now you're being acknowledged by the gym people. You're
yeah,
part of the tribe.
yeah. I get that with the people who work there. So the people who work at Movati, they know me, and I crack wise with them. So last night I'm getting my protein shake after my workout, and someone had already ordered one, and I was waiting at the counter. He was sitting down over somewhere, and this guy's like, he's a bald head with a redhead like beard, and fucker's jacked. He's about my height, but he's jacked, right? And she slides it across, and it's like a funky monkey or whatever, right? And I'm like, she's like, there you go, and I'm like, no, I don't think that's mine. And then the guy comes up and picks it up, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, that's okay. We could practically be twins. We look almost exactly alike. And he slaps my arm and says, "Have a good one, man." I'm like, "Yeah, see you later, brother." Anyway, so it's there is this sort of mentality like you're all there for the same purpose. It's like going to a concert, right? Everybody's a fan, so everybody's like on the same page as to why they're there, and so yeah.
Yeah.
The reason you love the gym is the reason I'd hate it. I'd feel so uncomfortable sweating and looking gross around others. Oh, come on, don't be a princess.
So
Uh,
I find this to be a little bit interesting because yes, but everybody else is also uncomfortable sweating and gross. And so being not that is the weird thing there.
yeah, yeah,
And suddenly it's like it's sort of if you can get past it, then you will stick it out and you will keep going, and it becomes completely secondary. Like it almost becomes the reverse, like, oh, my shirt's not sticking to me enough. I could
that's
change
right.
my I could change my clothes too easily at the end of the workout in front of all these strange men in the fucking locker room. It's like,
Yeah,
no, that's not right. I got to struggle to get this fucking shirt off,
yeah,
or they'll know I didn't do a good workout.
that's right. Yeah, if
Right?
I don't sweat enough, I feel self-conscious about it. I'm like, I don't deserve this shake. I didn't sweat. I don't deserve this protein shake. I didn't sweat nearly enough.
But
Anyway,
like, it's a mentality switch, you know.
it
Like,
is. It's kind of funny. And the funny thing is, like, and so Melina's like, I keep trying to get Melina to go to the gym with me. Like, come on, you should come. You should come. I have 2 week passes. You can come and just try it out for 2 weeks. Even if you just went to the women's pool and swam during those 2 weeks, you would get something out of it and you'd probably like it. Anyway, she's like, no, I'd feel self conscious. I'm like, there's no reason to feel self conscious. Nobody's judging you there. As a matter of fact, if people see someone who's like, ostensibly out of shape at the gym and they're putting in a workout, they're not judging them. They're going, good on you. If anything, they're
yeah,
praising you. They're going, good. Glad to see you putting in the effort. That's awesome.
there was one guy that the first time I had gone to the gym a while ago, like, because I've only started going recently, like started going regularly this year, but I actually signed up sometime last year.
Oh, yeah.
Like I think probably around June or July, or was it even early? It doesn't matter. But there's this one young guy there. He's like, I don't know. He looks like he's maybe 18 or 19, but
Yeah.
he must have been 400 plus pounds. Okay. I started
Wow.
going more regularly this year. I don't see him a lot, but I saw him when I first started going regularly again. He'd lost 100 pounds for sure.
That's awesome.
And every once in a while, I see him and it looks like he's steadily losing weight. And yeah, like nobody there is thinking, oh, yeah, who's this fucking chubby fat kid, bro? No, it's like, good for you, buddy. Like everybody's looking, like even the fit people who go there to maintain or to bodybuild see that as inspiring.
Yep.
They're like,
It's true. Um, Furry's got a couple of, yeah, I check out those better than me and say to myself, goals. One day I can be that. That's my thing, right? I look at somebody who's like roughly my height and has the shoulders, has the chest, and I'm like, December 1st. You want to look like that by December 1st. If you can do by December 1st, you should be 100% satisfied with what you've done. So now, will I reach that? I don't know, but I'm going to try as hell to do it.
Furry agrees,
Yeah,
right? Yeah. And the last time Furry went to the gym, everyone pumps you up and encourages you,
it's
unless they're
true.
focused on their workout, right?
It's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. And even when they're focused on their workout, like everybody's so congenial. Everybody's so nice. Like nobody's like, dude, get the fuck out of my way. Like you don't get that. Like it's not a bunch of testosterone fueled anger. It's actually everybody's like, yeah, good on you, man. It's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the girls at my gym, make sure Melina doesn't hear this. Some of them have like amazing bodies. I'm like, you're done, girl. You don't need to fucking be here anymore. Like, and can I say that the trend in women's fashion towards tights is a godsend? Like, women wearing tights is amazing because it used to all be like sweats, like sweatshirts, sweatpants, baggy clothes when you'd work out, like in the 80s and 90s. Now it's all tights. So they're all wearing these fucking skin tight stretch pants. And I'm like, wow, look at that
Well,
ass. And
there
sometimes
are
I catch myself, like I saw a girl, and I'm glad I didn't say anything. I was on the little turf area and I think I was doing kettlebell squats, right? And I saw this girl doing exercises and she had amazing legs. Like her legs were so well defined. They were just like they weren't bulky, they just looked so good. And I felt like going up to her and saying, can I just tell you you've got amazing legs? But I stopped myself and I didn't do that. Bragg
CMAC has
likes
entered the chat.
camel toes. Oh, who doesn't? Who doesn't like camel toes? Come on. I'm
So,
glad I don't see. I'm glad I don't see a lot of moose knuckles. I got to say
oh,
that.
yeah. But I did. I wish I had it. I had seen the list of archetype females in the gym,
Yeah,
right? And there's like the Instagram model, full face of makeup, the high ponytail, the tank top has all these different overlapping straps,
that's right.
and flesh-colored tights,
Yeah, that's
right?
right.
All right, and
It's
then
like
there's
so,
like,
like, you have to do a double take. Holy fuck, is she naked? That's right.
but then there's like the all booty workout girl where
Yeah.
she's wearing the tiniest, tightest booty shorts and the baggiest t-shirt that goes all the way down to her knees almost.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And the
yeah,
thing
yeah.
is, I do see these people at the gym.
It's true.
There's no variations,
Yeah,
right? There's the stereotypical tomboy.
yeah,
She is wearing not exactly snug sweatpants
right.
and a zip hoodie,
Yep.
but at the end of a workout, she takes off the zip hoodie and she's just wearing like a half top.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and
Like a
she's
Hulk,
fucking jacked, like, she
like
has the
you know,
abs and shoulders you
a
want,
belly
like
shirt. Yeah,
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 like,
yeah. One girl at the gym has the body of a 20-year-old, but the face of a 40-year-old.
that's because she's 40 years old, like, I don't know how to explain that, like, I
Well,
don't
the
know.
fact is, like, most 40-year-old women don't have a body of a 20-year-old, right? So, yeah, yeah. You can't really do much about your age without doing cosmetic surgery in your face, anyway.
And when they do wear sweats, they're snug.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nowadays. That's for sure.
Oops. Was it? Dude, I'm forever checking out other girls' at arses.
It's tough though. Like you've got to be really coy, like really subtle about it, because if they see, I don't know what it is. Women can detect the male gaze. Like their butt heats up if people are looking at it, and I bet you some women love that guys are looking at their butt. But I'm sure there's
Sure.
a lot of women who are like that dude over there, who's like 52 years old and wearing the graphic tee that's too young for him. Uh, he's looking at my butt and it makes me uncomfortable.
And let's take a moment. Everyone say a little prayer for our boy Pox. He's
Yes, Pox. Hope you're doing well, buddy.
yeah,
I can't imagine the pain you suffered when that happened. Maybe you can unpack a little bit what happened. Like, did you fall out of the work truck or a pickup truck or what? And hopefully it wasn't moving at the time. That'd be fucking terrible.
we
We feel
feel
your eyes.
your
Yeah, I'm sure you do, C Mac. I'm sure you do. Yeah, I don't want to divulge what happened with Pox, but let's just say Pox had a bit of a slip yesterday or a misstep, and he's been injured. So
dude, I'm a chick. It's normal for us to check each other out so we
so they
get
get
no
low
radar.
radar for other girls' games. Oh, fair enough. Okay,
And by
but
check
guys,
each other out, she means judge each other.
oh yeah, yeah.
There he is. I fell out of the work truck, was rearranging some wall paneling and floor tiles we ripped out for a dude, and just
Stepped
tumbled
off
off.
the edge.
Yeah, was it a pickup? Was it the cube van? Something bigger? Like, are we talking about a 3 to 4 foot fall? 5 feet. Oh, crack. God, is that? Do you have a skull fracture as well? And three vertebrae fractures. That's fucking.
Well, let's just hope the cracks in the vertebrae were like minor. You know what I mean? Like hairline cracks, not all the way through, and because yeah, vertebrae are like one of those things. My brother had one of his vertebrae, one of his vertebrae crushed. He was hit by a car
Oh,
and did a double flip onto the pavement, and yeah, he had one of his vertebrae crushed. They had to make him a new vertebrae out of a piece of his hip. So they basically cut out a piece of his hip bone, carved a new vertebrae, and replaced it.
but his spine is intact.
He's fully mobile. Everything's fine. But yeah, he was in a halo for a good 6 months. Yeah.
Yeah, geez, and that's what I'm given to understand here is the vertebrae there's fractures, but the spine is not damaged. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
it's just a matter of a slow, painful recovery. Don't move too much, bro. There's not much else they can do.
Yeah.
Sort of like broken ribs. Like
Yeah.
you can't cast them. There's nothing you can do.
No.
It's pretty shitty, man. Sorry that
It's like when you break your pinky toe. Just gotta
yeah.
suffer.
And I hope you recover well and quickly, my friend.
Do they
Follow up
have
with
you
some
in a,
kind
do they have
message.
you in a halo or a neck brace? Like which vertebrae? I wonder. Was it down in your back or up in your neck or in the middle or what? Yeah, that's rough, man. Furry says back pain is one of the top three worst types of pain. I would agree. I've had such terrible back pain. I'm older, where I was like basically stopped in my tracks and I couldn't move. I'm like, if I move even a millimeter one way or the other, I'm going to be in agony. I can't. I have to stay in this position, kind of thing, right? Um, Burns are another thing. Burns are fucking
Mm.
terrible. I cannot stand the feeling of burns. Like a severe burn. You burn your finger on something hot, big deal. You burn your hand on something hot. Oh my god.
What's really fucked up is my back doesn't hurt nearly as much as the bruised ribs and sore muscles in my leg on the side I landed on. I would hope that's actually a good sign.
Yeah.
Uh, lower back, yeah, okay. Uh,
Well, hopefully, your hips did their job and protected it.
did they give you the good drugs?
Vicodin,
Vicodin that I
they
won't
won't take.
take. Good man. You save those for when you're healthy and you can just party a little bit. Okay, that's
How are you sell them?
yeah. Don't take them for pain. That's the road to addiction.
Remember when you and I and the wife went out to dinner that one time, and I was suffering from a terrible migraine.
Vaguely, you didn't seem
Well,
like you were suffering from migraine.
no, I wasn't. You know why? Because I took
Vicodin.
hydromorphone.
Oh shit, son.
I was having a terrible, terrible pain in the head, and we had a date to go out to dinner. You, me, and the missus, and and I had these hydromorphone from when I had my surgery. They said only take it if you're really feeling pain, like the pain's really intense. And I didn't use them when I had my recovery during my recovery, but the pain for my migraine was so intense. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna take one of these, and I did, and I felt great. I couldn't drink because if I drank, I'd be in trouble. So I just had the hydromorphone. And I'm like, I'm not going to drink tonight because I don't know that would be good. Ketamine is pretty good. Yeah, I've never done ketamine.
When my mom broke her arm, they had to reset it and like do a little bit of it wasn't even minor surgery. They just had to do some stuff that would be very painful.
Right.
So they just shot her up with ketamine. And I can't even describe to you the story she described to me of the trip she took for
Yeah,
about
no doubt.
45 minutes.
Now, am I right in my understanding? Ketamine is basically a horse tranquilizer. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. It's
Oh,
I think more commonly used in veterinary than in humans, but works for humans too.
sure. Got oxys for sinus surgery. Didn't need them, so I took them back to the pharmacy. Not gonna have a grade A drugs in the house if I don't need them. Yeah, I'd sell them. I'd
Yeah,
just go fucking
what
sell them somewhere.
you and CMAC on the same page on this one.
So
No one
yeah,
to sell them to. But
fair enough.
look, no, you keep them to party, right?
Yeah, I don't want to party with pills though. I did all that in college. I have no desire to party with pills anymore.
Because I'll tell you, those Vicodin, when you are not in pain, okay, and you're just no drinks, no nothing, nothing to do tonight or tomorrow, you just pop 4 of them and lay back and wait. Okay, that shit.
Codeine and vodka gives you one hell of a fun trip. I'm sure it does. Yeah. Oxys put you to sleep. Yeah, but it's a trippy sleep from what I understand. Like it's a really good feeling.
Had some mushrooms. No, I did some oxycodone. Yeah, it was an oxycodone once. It was weird. it wasn't like I wouldn't do it again for fun.
Yeah.
You know, it's too. I don't know how to explain it. Like if LSD is digital, right? Mushrooms are analog.
Yeah.
Uh,
I did mushrooms in college. We
uh,
went on a camping trip and I did mushrooms. And you know what? It's funny. I was really, really relaxed. I didn't have a lot, like, because it's a hallucinogen, but I didn't find I had a lot of hallucinations. Um, but when I did um, a CBD gummy a little while back, I found it felt very much like when I did mushrooms when I was in college. It was just
oh,
very chill, relaxed, Except when I did mushrooms in college, I was so chill. I just felt like I was space cadet. When I did the CBD gummy recently, I was like, I didn't feel like I was a space cadet. I just felt really relaxed and I felt super focused. I was able to actually do shit, which was nice.
I've never done drugs. I'm
I'm
afraid of
afraid of
awakening
awakening
something.
something.
Well, yeah, you're not wrong. You can't unsee it, Jack. It's true.
It's true.
The King's Pact binds them. Uh, I got the hard drugs from the doctors in my early 20s. Elvis in the Ceiling was super calming.
That's Elvis in the ceiling.
Sure.
I,
Whatever was happening with those hard drugs from her doctors in the 20s.
oh,
Just,
the hallucination was Elvis in the ceiling. I did LSD one time in college, and I lived in a townhouse. I might have told this story before, but I lived in a townhouse with a bunch of people, like a bunch of fellow students, and everybody dropped at the same time. And about an hour into it, nobody was feeling anything. Like this acid sucks. Everybody was like, "Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed. This isn't the kind of trip I was thinking I was going to have." Right? And they all went off and did their separate things. And so I'm in my room by myself, and I'm looking up at the ceiling, and that it's that popcorn ceiling you got, right, in
yeah,
houses.
yeah. The stucco,
Yeah, the
sponge
stucco
stucco.
popcorn, well, fake stucco, but yeah. Anyway, and the popcorn ceiling formed the shape of a big skull, and out of the eyes came all these little skulls that were falling towards me, and I started freaking the fuck out. And I went downstairs into the garage where my roommate Warren was doing some like I studied animation in college, was doing some like layouts or whatever for his final film. He was in third year, I think I was in first year or second year. Anyway, um, and I'm like, dude, I think I'm having a bad trip. He's like, oh, you just got to relax. And he's sitting there drawing, and I'm looking at this paint spills on the floor of the garage, right? And I'm seeing little fish jump from one paint spill to the other. So it's like dried paint on the floor, right?
Right.
And these little fish are jumping out of one paint spill to another, and like little dinosaurs are rising out of them and fucking fighting and shit. It was really messed up. I was like, what the hell's wrong with me?
Yep, that's an
Anyway,
amazing. The skull thing was tricky.
at the end of the day, it was actually a pretty cool trip because of all the imagery. It was very powerful. But when I was by myself in my room and skulls were falling from the ceiling, I felt really, really paranoid and fucked up.
Yeah, yeah. The skulls could be trippy for people
Yeah.
who don't
Well,
enjoy.
I'd done LSD a couple of times before that. Like I did some in college a couple of times. All that ever made me do when I was in or not college, in high school. I did some in high school or just after high school, and all it made me was paranoid. You got to remember, I lived in a house with my mom and my dad. My dad was a cop, and I was like, we had lasagna one night. So okay, so here's the thing: I worked at a gas station, and we're telling drug stories now. This has nothing to do with fitness. This is to do with bad habits. Anyway, so I was finished high school. I think I just like it was my last year of high school. I finished it, and what if summer? Some guy came into the gas station where I worked. And he's like, "Hey, I got hits of acid, $5." Right? I'm like, "Wow, $5! I've never done it before. I didn't know what it was." And they're like, "Dude, yeah, that's a good deal. I'll get hit of acid for $5." So a bunch of these guys dropped it, right? And they're all younger than me. They're all still in high school. They all worked at the gas station with me, right? And And I took it, and my shift was just ending. He's like, all right, I got to go home for dinner. I'm like, dude, you can't go home. Like, what do you mean? He's like, you can't go home. Like, are your parents home? I'm like, yeah. You can't go home, man. You'll fucking freak out. I'm like, gotta go home. Like, they're expecting me for dinner, right? They're like, oh, good luck, buddy. And I didn't know what the fuck to make of it. So I go home, and then I really start tripping hard, right? And my mom's serving fucking lasagna, and I love lasagna, but I'm cutting into it, and it's like I'm cutting into flesh. That's what it felt like. And I'm struggling with my knife and fork, and my dad goes, "What the hell's wrong with you?" And my brother, and I made an excuse real quick. My brother had his buddies over. They were all sitting in the living room next to the kitchen, and my brother's like, "I don't want dinner." And he just sat with his friends, and they were watching TV or whatever. And my dad was pissed off at him already, and they were making noise while we're trying to eat dinner, right? And he's like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" I'm like, "Oh, he's pissing me off," you know. So I'm trying to like, right? Anyway,
What a
so
nightmare.
my mom goes, "You got some sun today?" And if he had looked at my fucking eyes and saw the black fucking basketballs in my fucking in my eye sockets, he would have known instantly that I was high on acid. Funnily enough, my brother didn't notice until I told him later that I dropped acid. He's like, "You did?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh my god, how was it?" I'm like, "I was fucking freaking out." Anyway, so I go upstairs and after dinner, and I'm in my room just waiting, a little later to go back down to Brawny, which is where I was raised, where I grew up, right? Because that's where everybody hung out. We hung out at the gas station, then we went to the Tim Hortons and just hung out in Brawny. And I said, I was getting ready. My dad walks by my door. He's like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "I'm going down to Brawny." He's like, "What the hell's so great in Brawny?" And I didn't know how to respond. And I'm like, and all I'm thinking is like, "Oh my god, I'm turning into a fucking junkie. I'm a drug addict." And like, all I was going to get high with my friends in Brawny and shit. Like, I got very, very paranoid. It was so fucked up. So like, I was swore off acid after that for a long time. And then college came and I did acid.
Oh man. Uh, what? Where'd it go? What world's cheapest acid? $5 a hit was pretty standard.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But like
Yeah.
at the time, I was thinking because normally you'd buy like a dime of hash. They call it a dime because it was $10 for like less than a gram of hash. It was about the size of a dime. Uh, and then you get a gram of hash. It was normally like 15 to $20. So when I heard a hit of acid, $5, I'm like, that's really cheap. What's the deal with this acid? Oh, dude, you'll be high for like 8 hours. I'm like, that's really economical. 8 hours for $5? Like normally you get high, you're high for an hour, maybe two. Drop an acid, and that's the other thing that I didn't like about acid. You can't turn it off. You can't like calm your shit for like
Yeah.
it's with you for those 8 hours, and it generally tapers off near the end. But like for those 8 hours, you were as high as the when you first started tripping, and I'm like, fuck, well, is that you can't sleep, you don't want to eat anything, even if you're hungry. Nothing is appetizing. That's the thing I found really, really difficult to deal with about acid. I think I'm hurting Pox.
Yeah.
Laugh.
Well, no, I had some chats with some of the guys from work about some of this, like that. Yeah, you're like with mushrooms. It's not that you can turn it off, but it's more like swimming
Yeah,
in the ocean, right?
yeah,
There's a tide and the waves are coming, but if you know what you're doing, you can, you know, dive into the wave and avoid the crest, and you can sort of stay in one place, or you can
yeah,
get yourself over there or over this, or right.
yeah.
But acid is more like stepping on a skateboard and chaining yourself to the back of a truck.
That's right.
You can become a great skateboarder,
Hmm.
but you're not driving the truck,
That's right.
right?
You're not in
Like that's it.
control.
It's until the
That's right.
ride is over, you are chained to this truck.
Yeah, you can't.
And
You're not in control. Yeah, and you
y-
can't
yeah,
like you get high, right? And if all of a sudden cops come up on you, right? They flash their their lights or whatever at you, and you have to stop for 5 minutes and talk to the cops, you can calm your shit when you're
Yeah.
high on drugs. You can act normal, or you presume you're acting normal, right? You feel like, okay, I got control of this. I can talk to the cops and not sound like a total fucking wasteoid. When you're on acid, like every word is like, why did I say that word? Why did I say that word? Oh my God, he knows that I'm fucked up, Anyway.
Where like DMT is more like being tethered to a comet that's rocketing around the sun at speeds best described as a percentage of C,
Yeah,
as
yeah.
the rocket and you disintegrate into vapor from the heat of the sun. Like,
Then you wake
yeah,
up and you're fine, right? Now DMT is it's a very quick high, right? It's like 20, 30 minutes. Is that right?
not even
Oh no,
like
eh?
12, 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then
But
there's that
intense.
salvia that was like totally legal for the longest time because they didn't know how to classify it,
Well,
which is like
because
it's literally a minute. Like you're fucked up for a minute, like 1-2 minutes.
yeah, so it's because of the DMT content that
Oh,
you're
is that
getting
it?
that high, right? Yeah. Um,
DMT is like being dragged through purgatory by a death angel.
it is really weird. Yeah, it's not
Now,
for
do you mean
everybody.
Death Angel as in Warhammer 40K Death Angels, or do you mean
That
Angel of
you're
Death?
not sure you're alive. You're not sure you're gonna survive. Yeah.
No shit, eh?
Uh,
That might be interesting. I'm very curious about it, but given my penchant for paranoia when I'm on illicit substances, it may not be the best thing to do.
you don't have time to be paranoid, and it's not like you're gonna go anywhere. This is something that, like, okay, so I had access to a DMT vape pen.
Oh, really?
I've had a couple of them. Been through a couple of them. Um, and yeah, what I would do is, oh, what's that? It's almost bedtime. Sure, I would hit like between 5 and 7 hits,
Yeah.
and then curl up under my blanket.
Turn out the lights.
Yeah, and just
And would you
yeah.
wake up the next morning, or would you like come out of
No,
it?
you go through it and you come down and
Yeah.
you're fine. Like, it's the strangest thing because there's no like aftershock,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
no tolerance building. There's no I don't like none of
So
the stuff associated with drug use is associated with this
So you
particular
don't
thing.
you don't feel like you're coming down and then you feel like really sluggish or anything like that afterwards.
Yeah, it's just over. It's like
Yeah.
and like it never happened except you remember it.
That's really weird.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing I found when I did so okay, another acid story. I did acid in college one time, and then I had to go to my parents' house the next day, and I came home. I took the bus. I didn't have a car. I took the bus. I came home, and I'm at my parents' house, and I feel like I'm retarded all morning. Like I can't speak right. Like I'm not high, obviously. I'm out of it. I'm not hallucinating. But I was trying to work the microwave, and I'm hitting the open button to try and start it, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? I felt like a literal retard for like the entire morning. It was weird. What? Tell us about your DMT spirit guide there, Irving. Who's your
It's
DMT spirit guide?
no, like,
It's
okay.
Burt Reynolds.
No, and his DMT spirit guy is a YouTuber. We disagree on which YouTuber.
Is it me? Am I your DMT spirit guide?
No, no, no. Okay, so this was the first time that I had this fucking pen, and like basically, it's hard to explain. You know how you have a vaporizer. You know how it works. You know how
Yeah,
you can take a one full hit,
yeah,
or you can take a little hit. Okay,
yeah.
with the DMT pen, the number of hits you take, full hits, like just breathe in as much as you can, will basically put you at a different level of fucked up, right? Uh, 3 for an amateur, 5 for someone who's experienced with, say, mushrooms and acid. 7 is a big dose. 10 is like you've been doing DMT a long time. I never did. I never went there.
Okay.
I never went to that level, right? But the first time, I was like, yeah, okay, let's do 7. And it's not Schmeckle, it's Logicked.
Logic, who's Logic?
He's some Canadian atheist YouTuber. He
You'll
wears a
have to
top
share
hat
them
and
with me.
sunglasses and stuff. Yeah. But this is okay. So like, yeah, everything starts going fractal. Also, I have this really cool trippy music playing in the background, right? While I
Cool.
curl up on the couch just to see what's what.
Was it Pink Floyd?
And what's that?
Was it Pink
No,
Floyd?
no, no. No, I don't have it on this computer. But anyway, I have this, it's very soothing, calming, just very chill music playing in the background.
Yeah.
And everything starts turning fractal and it starts getting more fractal. And like the fractals are expanding outwards fractally and more fractals are coming off them. But then there's these weird fucking faceless women in like classy but super tight, like think 20s casino waitresses with
Okay.
like the fishnets and the high,
Yeah.
yeah, high cut one piece with the bow tie and shit.
Yeah, almost like a
And they're,
Playboy bunny, but without the ears necessarily.
yes, and they're, and no face or hair,
Yeah.
and they're presenting the fractals to me
Weird.
while the man just out of my sight in the top hat and sunglasses with the cane is explaining all the secrets of the universe to me in a language I just don't quite understand. And this is going on for, it feels like quite a bit longer than it was, and then it all starts to unwind and come down again. And yeah, it was pretty fucking intense for a first go.
That sounds really interesting.
Yeah, it's
So
fucked
is
up.
so is it like you're dreaming then?
No, like occasionally I would, like, I suddenly remembered this
Yeah.
isn't actually happening the way it's happening. I'm on my couch and I open my eyes and push the blanket around and the whole world looks weird. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, and I just close my eyes and go right back into it.
Okay, so
But
you
yeah,
close your eyes and you start having visions. Is that the idea?
yeah, but if your eyes are open, you're having fractal shit happen in your vision in the
Right.
world. So you
Right.
can't like do anything.
Right.
This is
That's
not something
see,
you
that's what I
yeah,
find with LSD, right? When I would take LSD, everything would have a pattern, and it was normally like a paisley type pattern. It was probably fractals, but at the time I didn't know what fractals were. So I was
sure.
like, oh, there's like everything's paisley. Like, why is everything so paisley? You know what I mean? And and yeah, so that's really interesting. So DMT is just like a much higher level of that. So if you close your eyes, you'll have actual visions of
It,
entities and people and things
it's
like that.
far more intense, yeah.
Yeah. If you
Um,
keep your eyes open, then you're going to see your environment become warped.
but you are like, it has a like a dissociative property.
Right.
So like you'll forget your body and your surroundings pretty easily.
Yeah.
Where acid, you have to take quite a bit of acid to have that kind of, I don't know what my limbs are for kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
uh
I wonder if people have done like, well, I'm sure people have done guided meditation with DMT. I'm sure there's a lot of like DMT heads out there that are
I
like,
don't think there's enough time. Well, I mean, ayahuasca, but you're also taking the MAOI
yeah.
and a
No, I mean
different,
like, so you start with guided meditation and then you do your DMT and then that's sort of like, what do you call it? It changes the momentum of your trip, so to
oh,
speak.
like it informs your high, maybe. I
Right.
mean,
Yeah. That's what I mean.
possibly, but you know, I don't need drugs for that. My SSRIs stop the visions. Well, I'm glad they help. You know, there are retreats for those trips. Yeah, like the ayahuasca thing is basically DMT, right?
Yeah.
But it's a fairly low dose DMT,
Yeah.
and the two ingredients, one is DMT, the other is the MAO inhibitor,
Yeah.
right? Mono monoamine oxidase. What is that?
You got me.
Basically, DMT breaks down really, really fast in your system. So fast that a lot of times, if you took a dose, you wouldn't even know
Yeah.
because you'd break it down before the MAOs break it down, and it doesn't do anything. But if you take an MAO inhibitor, then the drug runs its course. Also,
Oh, I
there's a
see.
whole bunch of other shit you can't eat or drink because the MAOs break them down too.
And typically DMT is smoked or inhaled or eaten or drank or what?
So again, depends, right? You can there's an injectable form, vapor form or smoke form, but
Yeah.
ayahuasca is a tea. And
Okay.
it's two ingredients, some kind of root and some kind of bark. I can't remember which is which, but
Yeah.
one contains the DMT, the other contains the MAOI. And you mix them together in the tea, and it's actually a fairly low dose DMT, but because you can't break it down, you are now tripping for several hours on this really slow rise up and slow rise down. But with a depending what volume of tea you drink, you can get really fucking high.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What's this? My DMT pipe wasn't working and clogged doses inside. Then I went to rip it and they all poured back into the heat. By the time I realized what was happening, I only had time to put it on the table before blast off.
you kept drawing like, why isn't this working? And it turns out, boom, you were actually taking a whole. That's funny.
Yeah, that must have. Jeez. For the most part, if I take 5 or 6, I have time for a smoke.
Oh shit,
Like
eh?
I hit the vape, set it down, light up a cigarette, and
So
then just
these
before
vapes
the
aren't
cigarette's done,
legal.
like,
These vapes aren't legal, then I'm
as
guessing.
far as I know, they are not legal. Yeah.
But you have somebody got you a cartridge infused with this DMT stuff.
No, I just found it.
You found it. That's pretty lucky for you, I guess. You just don't want to out your source. I get it. Hey, we've
No.
been talking for an hour, and we've only done old man fitness and drug talk.
So let me tell you, I got a buddy I hadn't seen in, I don't know, almost 2 years. This was a long time ago, right? Uh,
You got me.
I
I'm
just
fucking fed. Yeah,
I
I
walk up, I
glow.
see
I
him.
glow.
Hey man, how's it going? He says, "Oh, I've got something for you." I go, "It's a DMT vape pen." He goes, "How did you know?" And I was like, "I want to say it's because I'm psychic, but it's because you've been vaping DMT for weeks now, and you're bleeding information out. You're the psychic."
That's funny. Jesus says you Canadians can still get 5-MeO DMT legally. I don't know what that is, but
Oh yeah, apparently yeah, there's one that's cool to get and one that isn't. But yeah, is that the one that you can vape in the vape pen? Because maybe then
maybe
I don't
yours
have
is
to be
maybe
all
yours is
weird about it.
totally legal.
Yeah. They aren't hard to source. The same people sell mushrooms. Uh, yeah, I mean, well, shit, mushrooms aren't technically legal. I mean, it's not even one of those gray areas. I'm pretty sure they're still on the books as illegal, but a lot of the weed shops just sell them,
Yeah.
right? But hey, they're
I
actually
think
quite
I
good. The ones that
personally, I
have
think psilocybin should be illegal. So should peyote. I think any drug that's like natural, and I guess you could say, well, heroin's natural, but heroin's so refined and concentrated that it's like
no, the way poppy seeds aren't illegal, morning
right,
glory seeds aren't illegal,
right.
right? Uh, yeah, no, I understand. The tech. Oh,
All the
oh, is that the kits for growing them?
all the illegal drugs, at least pot is legal in most states over your end. Yeah, it's in the United States. It is in Canada. It's legal countrywide. Like I my brother when he found out I was going to BC, he bring back some of that BC bud for me, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be a drug mule. I'm like, wait a second, I could buy it, fucking take it on the plane. Like,
Yeah, you put it in your carry-on.
I fucking carry it. I could,
Just
I could.
toss it to the flight attendant. Here, stash that for me.
Why? I could just fucking have it in my pocket for crying out loud. Because I don't have to go through customs. I don't have to go through. You know what I mean? Anyway,
Yeah, and Pox says shrooms are being sold at smoke shops in Kentucky, and they're 100% illegal. So that's right. Oh yeah, the supplies for growing. Yeah, yeah.
cultures, agar plates, and sport prints and shit. Interesting. I
So
have no real desire to try psilocybin again. Oh. But but yeah, I'm very interested in DMT. I was actually thinking this weekend when I was walking the dog, I was walking past the mall near my house, and they just opened a cannabis shop. Funnily enough, back to Old Man Fitness, where the old fitness shit place used to be. Um, but they opened up a cannabis shop there, and I was like, maybe I'll go buy an edible, have an edible this weekend. But I'm like, no, I don't want to. I mean, I'll do it on my own, but I mean, like, wouldn't it be funny if we did this live stream and I was like tripping on an edible, like a fucking CBD gummy.
just be careful if you go looking for a vape, DMT vape.
Yeah,
Take
make
your
sure
time, work up
it's
to it.
the legal one.
No, no, not even that. Just like low dose to start. Get used to it.
Oh, I see. I'm not even gonna like if they said tomorrow, hey, it's legal now, you can smoke DMT or you can vape DMT, then I might try it. But I'm not gonna go and try and find a source of illegal product.
Yeah, yeah. But psilocybin's
You know what's funny, Pox? When I was in high school, I was an asshole when I was stoned. I was a nice guy when I was drunk, but when I was stoned, I was a dick. Now I'm really mellow when I'm stoned. Like I'm just or I'm paranoid. I'm either paranoid and and like freaking out when I'm really stoned because the new stuff now is way more powerful than the stuff we had when I was in college or when I was in high school. And and now I just get like really chill, really mellow. But
but
I've
that
been
leads
told
us to
but I've been
munchies.
told I'm funny. So
But that leads us to munchies, right?
haute cuisine. Yes.
Apparently there is this new thing in China. This is what the what's it called? The thumbnail was about. Honestly, I just couldn't think of a title or a thumbnail, and I just saw that and laughed, so I used it. Sorry, guys. Sorry to
You want to
disappoint.
you want to share it again? The
Oh,
imagery?
nah, not even. Just yeah,
Okay.
okay. I'll try and find it. But basically, there's this thing going on in China that people are making what they call white people food, as a form of like self-flagellation for some reason. Um, yeah, that they just you know, like I don't know why they're trying to punish themselves, but they are, and they just make food with no seasoning of any kind,
Yeah.
and they refer to it as the lunch of suffering.
Well, that is a lunchable. That's funny.
This one happens to be a lunchable, but they've also like just basically because again, remember this is in China. This is on a Weibo, what it's like Chinese Twitter or Reddit or something.
Okay.
The point of the white people's meal, that's the white people's meal, is to learn what it feels like to be dead. But I've taken 2 bites and it was so bad it made me realize how alive I am.
That's true. Now, when you talk about American processed foods, yes, it's all fucking flavorless.
Some of the
Uh,
other pictures I saw about this though were like traditional Chinese dishes, just
yeah.
completely unseasoned. Right? No marinade, no season, nothing.
So just
All
like
right. So
noodles.
they do it to themselves for I don't exactly understand what the point really is, but they're doing it and they're saying white people food. And yeah, so yeah, in some of the more what's developed places, yeah,
Sewer grease.
it's not even like there is weird oil that flows
Yeah.
through like the street cord, the gutters in the streets, and you see
Yeah.
people collecting it to use to cook. It is so fucking weird. Runchaburs.
Runchaburs. I
Uh,
saw I
but
saw a picture a few years back about so you know when you get like Jane's chicken fingers and stuff like that, all that stuff is chicken processed from China.
really,
And they have like you see like slaughtered chickens in the street and then they just collect all the chickens process them and turn them into fucking chicken fingers. And
Wow.
they're like, it's like dirty, dirty street. It's not like this is from like a chicken farm. It's
No,
like,
that's how the pandemic that's how most pandemics started, right? Like wet markets, right? It
yeah,
doesn't refer to water, it refers to animal
it was
blood
just like
being ultimate.
corpses of like white chickens in the street, and then you see a bunch of pictures of people collecting them and
Yeah,
presumably taking them away and turning them into Jane's chicken fingers. Um, yeah,
but there was this other joke that Pox told me about this one. Uh, that yeah, like people of color in the Western world think that white people food is this way
yeah,
because white people have only ever served them food in school cafeterias and prisons, so they don't really know. But I mean, like, I don't know, was there like 18 seasons of Xi Jinping's kitchen that I missed? Because
yeah.
Gordon Ramsay is a white guy doing white cooking. Uh,
Yeah.
and that shit is off the hook. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I mean, you also got to think of like the height of cuisine is French cuisine, right? Haute
Haute
cuisine.
cuisine, yeah.
Yeah, and and I'm sorry, I like noodles, I like ramen, I like pho, I like Chinese food. I don't mind Chinese food, but I like Canadian slash American Chinese food. I don't think I've ever had authentic Chinese food, but you know, it can't hold a candle to French cuisine.
French
French
food is
food is
ass.
ass. I disagree, Pox. Like,
Furry from Finley agrees. Look,
no, French food is fucking delicious. I mean, you put enough fucking butter in something and it's gonna taste good. And they put butter in everything. French pastries are epic, says C-Mac. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
and like I have a broad palate, but I'll tell you what, because Fox is from Kentucky, so I'll give him this. American barbecue is a fucking style of cuisine.
Yeah.
It can be done poorly and it
Hmm.
can be done fantastically.
Hmm.
And American barbecue is some of the best food I've ever eaten, man.
Bobby Flay, man. No, I agree. I love that's the thing. Like when you think about American food in terms of the processed foods, like, dinosaur shaped chicken nuggets and fucking Lunchables and stuff like that. Yeah, that's all garbage. But I mean, sometimes you just feel like a bologna sandwich on like Wonder Bread. And it's not good for you and it doesn't have a very complex flavor profile, but it's like a comfort food, right? It's like shepherd's pie. It's like, fucking mac and cheese. These things aren't like elevated at all, but sometimes they just feel good. Tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwich is still one of my favorite fucking meals. That's very munja cake food.
So yeah, for sure. But I mean, okay, hold on. I work at bread. And so we get free bread. And I've stopped bringing like a proper lunch. I just bring like literally a fistful of meat, and at lunchtime I just slap it between free bread.
There you go.
And
Hey,
I had got this.
can you hook me up with some fucking whole grain?
No, I can't actually bring it out. I can just eat as much as I want when I'm
Oh,
there.
while you're there, I get it. You
Yeah.
can't take a loaf home. Okay.
No, no. Like occasionally it happens, but it's a rarity.
Yeah.
But so I got this big old fucking like ham shoulder pre-cooked, and I was just taking huge slices of fucking ham and getting like a and like everything that comes through is fresh. Like it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
made that morning, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
getting like these big fresh buns, a little bit toasted, smearing butter on it and ham between, and I realized, oh fuck, the French actually call this the most boring fucking name for a sandwich. It's a jambon beurre. It's literally ham and butter. And if it's a good quality butter and a really nice ham in the fresh bread, it is fucking fantastic. It is so simple and so like wholesome. I don't know how to describe it yet. You just have to try it. No mayo, no pickles, no cheese, just ham on buttered bread. It is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, C-Mac says I should make my own bread. It's easy as hell. We used to have a bread maker. It might even be in our storage cold cellar area. We used to make bread pretty regularly, but now I'm eating nothing but like whole grain, like the fucking
Mhm.
hearty shit with seeds and stuff in it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so, I mean, I'm sure I could make that myself as well with like whole wheat flour and everything else. But Melina picks up this stuff at Costco. It's like a big loaf. It's like $5 a loaf. And it's got like probably 40 slices in it. And it's so good. And I eat it like I love it. And I never used to like it. I used to be a white bread guy. And now like white bread tastes like I'm eating fucking birthday cake. It's so much sugar. It's so soft. I'm like, I can't eat that anymore.
Well, I'm convinced that's why Italian immigrants started calling Canadian people
Munch
manja
cake.
cake.
Yeah, because they probably took a look at our bread and like, what the fuck are they doing with this bread?
Yeah, yeah, because they go to a grocery store, they're looking for bread, they're asking for bread, and it's like it's right here, and they're showing them Wonder and such brands, this squishy, soft, fucking
Yeah.
bleached white flour bread, and they're like, no, 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 the hard disc that I can eat or beat my child with,
Yeah.
like, if I throw it, it's gonna break the window, right?
Heavy
Because
thing, you know? It's
that's
like,
what bread is, a good
yeah,
hearty bread. So it's like
yeah,
this isn't bread, this is cake.
yeah,
And there isn't a proper Italian word for cake, so it's just these cake eaters, these
yeah,
manja cakes.
yeah. That's another cuisine that I really, really like, Italian food. And as a matter of fact, for Father's Day, sorry, touchy subject, we're going to
Uh-huh.
Industria. We're going to Industria Kitchen Bar here in Burlington, and they make a decent Italian, like Canadian Italian food. Like it's Italian. It's not like a little bistro, Italian bistro. It's like a big, big restaurant, but they make really good Italian, Canadian Italian food. So
Good. No, I hope you enjoy it. Do Italians just call hardtack bread? You know what? Like you're in Kentucky, so I don't know how much access you have to like a proper Italian deli, like a bakery. If you do, just go try the bread and some of those meats that you can't pronounce. Meats that you can't pronounce.
Italian bread is like white bread, but it has more flavor to it, and the crust is thicker because they bake it longer.
And it's made with less sugar, right? So
Yeah, less sugar, and it's more bubbly. Like it has more holes in it because probably because they use a better yeast or something. Gabagoo.
yeah, so like it doesn't rise the same way, and it's just tougher, and it's not soft and squishy, and that's all.
Yes, C-Mac, taking my dad out for dinner. Uh,
Yeah.
trying to take him out for breakfast on Father's Day. Nah, forget it. It's too. We have a lot of breakfast places in Burlington, but it's too hard to get a reservation or not stand in a line for 30 minutes to just go eat breakfast.
And there's a weird add salt step after the first rise. This is to prevent it from rising further.
Yeah, that's why it's like it looks like a UFO.
Yeah, the word you're looking for is fermented.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but yeah, like, I mean, between French, Italians now being considered white.
Fox's comment. What the matter for you?
Oh, it doesn't show up in the
No, it did.
no,
It's
there it
StreamYard.
does.
Yeah. I saw it.
Oh, for me it doesn't on StreamYard. That's
Oh, weird.
weird. Yeah.
Fermented bread is great. Yeah, like sourdough. I fucking love sourdough. Yeah, so this hearty whole grain bread that we get at Costco, it's a sourdough bread, so it's very tasty, and it's got all like a bunch of seeds in it, and it's really dark, and it's delicious. Pumpernickel too. I like pumpernickel, but pumpernickel
Mhm.
I think is not as healthy because I think it uses malt.
Hmm. But yeah, no, just thought this was funny. White people food. It's no seasoning. It's Lunchables.
Why does my vape pen taste like it's burning the juice? You may have it set too high. If you have one that's, it could also be that I don't know when was the last time you changed the coil or the liquid.
Yeah, because
Um,
the coil can get gunky if you
yeah,
burned it too high or too low, and then it will taste funny.
yeah, yeah. I have to change this coil. So these are pop-in coils. I have to change it every 3 weeks or so because it starts to taste like shit.
But yeah, if you have like the adjustable power thing,
Yeah, if you put it too high, then you can burn the liquid. Or if you press it too long, you can. Like if I hold this, yeah, I didn't burn out the coil, but yeah, it's burning the liquid essentially. It's supposed to vaporize it. It's supposed to heat it up to become a vapor, but if it starts flooding with fluid, and then I've never changed the coil. How long have you had it, C-Mac?
because yeah, they should last. Saying days or weeks doesn't work. Like a number of vapes, basically, right?
Yeah,
Basically, once it starts to taste funny, just change it.
yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah.
And what model are you using? I have so many fucking vape devices because I just a new one comes out from a manufacturer I like, and here's the secret: they're all manufactured in the same place with just different names on them in
Right.
China. As soon as there's a new one that comes out, I'm like, oh, that's kind of a cool design. I'll check it out. I'll try and buy it. I'll buy it and try and use it. But no one, the Vaporesso 80-watt mod kit that I have here, it doesn't have like a screen on or anything. It's just a single setting. This has the best flavor of any one I've ever used. I have a Pockets Aspire. I don't know that one.
And only been using it for 10 days, but she's also quitting smoking, so she may be using it excessively.
Yeah, I should maybe using it a
Uh,
lot.
so, yeah.
Yeah, I have one with like adjustable levels and that kind of stuff. And this one just gives the best flavor, and I don't have to worry about it. I just have to charge it. That's all I got to do. Just keep charging it and changing the coil every once in a while, refilling it. When I first started vaping, I liked the ones that look like cigarettes because I'm like, okay, it's got the feel of a cigarette, and it gives me a little hit of nicotine, and it tastes relatively good. But it didn't taste good. It just like, okay, I get the puff of smoke and everything. But the flavor was like non-existent. And then you eventually migrate or graduate up to something that gives you good flavor. Also, CMAC, if you use anything that has like a custard flavor or a dessert flavored type of liquid, uh, it can also, if it's really sweet, it can burn out the coil quicker. The fruity ones don't burn out the coils quite as much. So I don't know what you're vaping, but I don't like the dessert ones. I always find they taste like a candle. So
I had found one once when I was trying it, and my buddies at the time were getting into it. Um, and it tasted like funnel cake with just a sprinkle of icing sugar.
yeah.
It was phenomenal.
See, I can't. I've tried a bunch of different dessert ones. I just don't like them. They
This
taste
one,
artificial to me. And I
this
mean, I know
one,
it's artificial anyway, but the fruity stuff tastes good. Like I don't know why, it just tastes better.
this one was perfect. After a while, other flavors would turn on me. Didn't matter if I lowered the nicotine or adjusted my like brand new coil. I just suddenly I didn't like the flavor anymore. This
Yeah.
one never turned on me. And then one day I went to get some more, and they were like, "Oh, they don't make it anymore."
Oh no. That
So
sucks.
my favorite was that's why I never quit smoking and kept vaping is literally because that one flavor just stopped being produced.
So so I've the one that I vape consistently almost all the time is one called Sour Ghost by a company called Vape Meat. They have a bunch of stores all around Ontario and maybe even outside the province. But
Mhm.
it's a house blend. It's like a house brand, and it's consistently good. And they have a couple of different flavors. They've got a lychee flavor that's also really good, and a grape flavor and a watermelon flavor. They're also very good, but I find they're a little too sweet. So I like the regular, just sour ghost. So she's using 12 milligram and 6 milligram. See, I would use 3 milligram in this. I don't need nicotine quite that much. And I went a
Yeah.
week off of it. Did I tell you I went a week off of vaping?
No, you did not.
Yeah, well, here's the thing: I had an appointment with an ENT about this thing in my throat, this
Yeah,
little
yeah.
feeling, right? And she said, "Well, you should try quit vaping for a week and see if it clears up." And so when we went to BC, I was having a bit of a sore throat before we went. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to leave my vape at home for the week. So I didn't vape all the week I was in BC. And I didn't go through any real withdrawal. I wasn't a grumpy asshole or anything. Probably because I was hitting the gym every day. But
Yeah.
but yeah, it's like, okay, so I could quit this if I really wanted to, but I like it too much.
Your lymph cancer.
My lymph. That's probably what it is. Yeah, it's probably lymph node cancer or throat cancer, or it could be a blood clot. I'm gonna have a what do you call it?
Shit, did you have it before the fucking shot?
No,
What the fuck?
no, I didn't.
Yeah,
But I
okay.
have, to be honest, I have a feeling it's related to my TMJ because my TMJ's gotten steadily worse, and it's all connected here, right? So I have a feeling it's
Yeah,
related to that.
yeah. I did want to touch on this though. Everyone I know that vapes now,
Mm-hmm.
they've reduced their nicotine to as low as possible. Some of them entirely, because actually the nicotine will end up fucking up the flavor. You will start
Oh,
to
yeah,
notice that it's got nicotine has its own flavor in the vape, and it's not
yeah,
pleasant.
it's like almost like a peppery flavor.
So
I get swollen glands regularly, says Finley.
mm.
Furry from Finley. Yeah, no, I've had this furry. I haven't seen you before in the chat, so you may not have heard this backstory. I've been having this feeling in my throat for a while now, several months. And so the thing is, my mom died of a stroke last year, and prior to having a stroke, she she felt she was having difficulty swallowing. Now I don't have difficulty swallowing, but I notice it when I'm swallowing. So I got very paranoid about shit. I've got a blood clot in my throat, like in my artery here, and that's what it is. So I got very paranoid. I booked an appointment with an ENT. She put the little endoscope down there. She couldn't see anything, so it's nothing in my throat. So that's what's leading me to believe that okay, so it's probably related to my TMJ or it's a blood clot. But if it's a blood clot, I would think with all the strenuous exercise I've been doing, it would have done something by now. But who knows? Like it would have shot up into my brain and given me a stroke, but it hasn't happened yet.
Have you considered putting less dick in there?
No, man. Fuck. I only have a few vices, Jeezy. Vaping, airsoft, and sucking cock. Don't take them away from me.
Sounds like an
an
autoimmune issue.
disease. Maybe.
Oh wait, I don't know if she's talking to you or to Furry.
Oh.
But okay, so let's try this. TBD might stand for total Barisma death. So Barisma whistleblower comes out.
Yeah.
There's what, 17 recordings, and then suddenly, oh my god, the whistleblower is dead. But according to left-wing sources, only right-wing sources have reported this. I didn't do a lot of research, but mostly because it was all fucking bullshit. What the fuck am I looking at? Who's the whistleblower?
They don't even know.
No, is it the current owner / CEO, Mykola Zlochensky? No, it wasn't him. But the original owner / CEO, the founder, was also named Mykola Lisin, Lisin.
Okay.
But he's been dead a long time, so actually it might be his wife. But no one anywhere who talks about his wife says the wife's first name, so I can't even look into the existence of the wife. If someone is dead or not shouldn't be a left-wing or right-wing issue.
No,
You
it's
would
whether
think,
a whistleblower's been killed or not is the issue.
are they dead or not? I don't even know who they are. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
I don't
The
think it's
wife,
been released.
no
I
one
think
denies the existence of the wife, but shouldn't she be sort of a public figure if she worked at Burisma? If she worked alongside the co-founder, was married to the co-founder, why is that not available information? Right?
My
Like,
understanding is this informant at Burisma was paid handsomely by the FBI or whoever, um, $200,000, from what I understand, which indicates that he's a well placed and reliable asset, right? So, and
or she,
he made these recordings as an insurance policy,
or she.
or she. They made these. There we go. This person made the recordings as an insurance policy. There's 17 recordings in total. 15 of them were with Hunter Biden. 2 of them were with Joe Biden. And in these recordings, apparently, is the agreement that the Bidens will be paid $10 million if Joe Biden puts pressure on the Ukrainian government to fire the prosecutor of Burisma. And lo and behold, Joe Biden's on tape bragging about putting pressure on the Ukrainian government to fire the prosecutor looking into Burisma. So it's all like at this point corroborated. And why I know they've introduced articles of impeachment against President Biden. Now, here's the thing. In saner times, the Democrats would say, yes, he has to be impeached and he has to be removed because this is a clear violation. This is clear corruption. And even
Well,
though it didn't happen while he was president, he was in a position of power as vice president. And he obviously cannot be trusted. He's not a trustworthy commander in chief.
and there's also was it called a 1023, some sort of
Yeah.
perhaps IRS tax form or something
So the
that
1023, my
basically
understanding
shows
is that
the money?
financial information related to the payout to the informant, to the
Oh,
source.
okay.
So, and apparently that's the thing that Grassley and everybody else is asking for because it will give details regarding what information was paid for, and they're saying, and so was in Christopher Wray, he's the head of the FBI right now. Well, we can't do that because the sources would be put in danger. And they're like, well, redact the source's name. Like, how is that fucking difficult? Redact the source's name, and then we can get at least the transcripts because I guess transcripts are part of this 1023 form.
Yeah, it's pretty sketchy. I mean, like, it clearly happened, but nobody knows who's like, just what is this woman's name? Why does every article I've ever read refer to Liston's wife, Liston's wife, Liston's wife, but not mention her? Right? Like how is that a thing? I don't
Yeah,
Does that make any sense? Like, it's the first thing that everyone says. Wife of Mikola Listen,
yeah,
like Luba Listen, age 37 or whatever.
yeah,
That
yeah,
like
yeah.
what why is she only ever called Listen's wife?
Well, it
Because if
could
you
be that
had her
she's
first name, you might
like
be able to look her up and find out how she died.
it could be
Right?
that she's the source, right? And that's why they're holding her name back. But if she's dead,
Yeah.
then you may as well put the name out there, right?
No, but I mean, if you look up Mikola Listen, wife, you can't find out her for
Yeah,
like that should be information in some article from 10 years ago that it should be there somewhere,
one would
right?
think.
Founder of Burisma with wife, you know,
Abigail.
yeah, Catherine, right?
That's totally Ukrainian name. Abigail.
Something.
Katerina.
Faked her death and put her into witness protection.
Could
Maybe.
be.
They scrubbed her. They scrubbed her first and then killed her, and that's why you can't find that name.
That's right.
Jeez. Doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
So is this the beginning of the end for the Biden administration?
The walls
The
are
walls
closing
are
in.
closing in on the Biden administration, on Joe Biden. No, he really should resign. He really should step down. Did you hear what he said to the reporter asking why he's referenced as the big guy? And he
No.
responded with, "Why'd you ask such a dumb question? You're
You're
not
not
going to
allowed
answer
to ask
the
those questions. You've been
Yeah,
well paid.
yeah,
God save the queen.
yeah. Nah, he's untouchable. And I still contend that the reason he became Obama's running mate, okay, was that the real people who run the government um, were like, okay, we could have Hillary, but she's so dirty and unlikable that she probably wouldn't win the general. Um, or we could have this young guy, Barack Obama, who he seems very popular and could probably win the general election. All right, let's make him the nominee, and we'll put Biden in there because Biden we can control. But and we don't know who Obama is. Like we haven't vetted him to the point where we know we can control him, but we know we can control Biden. So if Obama steps out of line, we John F. Kennedy him and then install Biden. So that's why Biden was picked as his running mate. Yeah, RFK is doing well, and they probably will kill him. You're absolutely right. Yeah,
Just kill all
but
the
the thing is,
candidates.
like they're not even going to run primary contests in several states. They're just going to because even though he's being challenged by other Democrat candidates, they're not going to run a primary. They're just going to give the delegates to him in those states. Which, I mean, the primaries in the United States for the Democrats have long been basically a coronation. They've picked long ago who's going to be the nominee, and
Well, the problem,
even though you get like guys like Bernie and stuff like that, who have huge support, the DNC has already decided that it's going to be Hillary. The DNC will already have decided that Biden is going to be their candidate or Newsom is going to be their candidate.
yeah, I mean, it's like basically the DNC and the RNC are more like private corporations than political. What's the word I'm looking for? They're not government, right?
No, they're not.
They're the organization outside government that orchestrates who's going to be
Their party nominee.
the
That's right.
candidate. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you can join the party, pay your fee, and vote, and it doesn't matter,
Exactly.
right?
At the end of the
Because
day,
they're
the
a private
delegates,
company. They don't have to follow the vote.
yeah, the delegates are supposed to pick what the voters in the primary want, but they don't have to. But it's tradition that they typically do. Oh, well, the people of Iowa have decided that Ron DeSantis should be the nominee. Well, I guess we're going to make Ron DeSantis. We'll give you the delegates for Iowa because Ron DeSantis was chosen by the people. I still think it would be really a huge fucking mind fuck for everybody, especially Razor Fist, if Ron DeSantis ends up becoming the nominee and he picks Donald J. Trump as his running mate. That would be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that would be the bulletproof vest, right?
Yeah, that's
Right.
right. They're like, fuck DeSantis. And the thing is, he would win too, because DeSantis is actually quite popular. He's not as good
Yeah.
as Trump, but he's quite popular amongst people who, hold their nose at Trump, right? But Trump being the vice president, which traditionally is more of a like a what do you call it, a diplomatic role. They normally do things on a foreign affairs kind of thing. In
Yeah.
his, in traditionally, they're the ones who meet with other foreign dignitaries. Trump's really good at that. He would make
Yeah.
a great vice president, and he'd have the ear of the president, and he would have done it. So DeSantis could actually, they could work together to develop the DeSantis agenda or the DeSantis doctrine, and it would be very similar to the Trump doctrine, right? So
And
they
this
need a
is
wartime president. They want WW3. Yeah, but who is that?
it doesn't matter. This is actually an important point. Yeah, so conspiracy theory time. Irving's oddities. Yes, this is absolutely what they want, and they're going to start pushing soldiery and war as, sexy and cool. Try and steer women into thinking that if a man isn't ready to go die in Ukraine for nothing, that he's actually like a shitty person, and don't breed with him. So nobody buy this. All right, don't. All right. They literally just want to send you to your death to help kill more Ukrainians.
Well, I'll give you a bit of Craig's craziness.
Sure.
So part of the reason why they're pushing the whole transgender movement is because they want to fill the ranks with transgender women, so to speak, right? Trans women who are actually men, right? Uh, and they can go and die in the wars. No, have you seen the recruitment videos and stuff for the military?
No, I heard they're pretty
They're like
fucking gay
fucking.
though.
They're like tea commercials. They're totally gay. They're very gay. They're talking about young woman recruits who had two moms, and all this sort of shit. They're
Look
trying to
how
get Carol Danvers in the Air Force.
look how inclusive our murder squads are.
Yeah, exactly.
Now go die,
Yeah.
lesbian.
It's ma'am.
They'll need
You'll
to
need
die.
to dial and recruit on the battlefield. Yeah, they're gonna issue suppressors to all their M4s or whatever they're using now because they make great dilators.
Ah, that's one way to call out the mentally ill.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, so here we go. Muslims rise up. Yeah, the Calgary. You're telling me the Calgary Pro was that earlier today? The
It was either today
Calgary,
or yesterday. I can't remember.
yeah.
Yeah, there was a
Because
Calgary protest against the transgender ideology.
yeah, no,
Muslims and Christians arm in arm saying, "Leave the kids alone. Let kids be kids."
like yeah, we've got a lot of disagreements and gripes with Islam in general, but apparently on this thing we agree strongly.
Yeah,
So you know,
yeah. I mean,
each
I'm
his
not a
own.
I'm not a fan of Islam, and because at my heart I'm still a very live and let live kind of guy, but I do find a lot of their belief systems to be very regressive, and I think that's mainly because they haven't gone through the Enlightenment period that Christianity went through. So they still hold very, very regressive ideas when it comes to women and other things, right? So, uh, but I will say this: I appreciate their adherence to traditional gender roles and traditional family values. Now, if they could just deal with the fucking fanatics, which make up you know a larger portion of their population than say Christian fanatics do in the Christian in the world of Christendom, then I think they might be okay, right?
Mm.
And it's good that the Muslims in Canada are generally nominal Muslims. They believe in their faith, but they're not diehard nut jobs. You know what I mean?
And
I
this is
missed some of
something
those, I
really,
missed some of those comments because I was talking.
yeah, caliphate when.
Caliphate one, yeah.
If you don't support Pride, you don't deserve to be in a Canadian elementary school. This was something
Yeah,
is
that's
being
right.
said
You're talking to the
to,
Muslim kids, yeah.
yeah. Uh, Islam is right about children. This is a great play on an old meme. Islam is right about women. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes.
Or the what is it? It's okay to be white.
Yeah,
Shortly
yeah,
after
yeah.
that, it was posted
Islam is
that
right
Islam is
about
right about
women. That's
women.
right. Yeah, I remember that. It
Oh,
was another
fuck.
4chan one. Yeah.
Homeschooling for the win. What was it? One thing Muslims and the Alphabet Gestapo have in common: maps. Uh,
Okay, you got that point right. That's right.
well, see, but uh, homeschooling for the win. Oh, there was something here. So you mentioned Christendom and protect the children. Christians and Muslims want to join together here, and of course, you're going to have some people start going on about Catholic priests
Yeah.
and young boys,
Yeah.
and that has become a meme, a stereotype, right? Catholic priests molesting children. Do you know what group of people molest children at a rate 1,000 times greater than Catholic
Te-
priests?
teachers.
Fucking teachers.
Yeah, that's right. No, the controversy around the Catholic Church is their response to it, right? So when
Yeah,
these things did happen, they wouldn't excommunicate their priests. They wouldn't kick them out of the church. They would move them to other districts.
the difference between the church and schools is that there's been no response to that.
No,
The
rarely.
behavior is exactly the same and has
It's
been
true.
for a long time.
And
And
the
until it
schools
was
do the
so
same
blatant
thing
and
too.
there's
They
yeah,
will give them a desk job in another district.
yep. It's yeah, and if it's a female teacher, they're all good.
Yeah,
I don't know how
exactly.
many times this has happened.
Because the teenage boy wanted it. Come on, what teenage boy
Yeah,
wouldn't want to
obviously, what
sleep
a
with a
lucky kid,
36-year-old
right?
teacher?
What happens in the Orthodox Jewish bathhouse stays in the Orthodox Jewish bathhouse.
That's true. Orthodox
Yeah.
Jews are very bad about molesting young boys too. That's true. There's been a large conspiracy amongst the Orthodox Jewish community. They do molest children. Some do. I'm not going to say all of them, but there is a child molestation problem in the Orthodox Jewish community as well.
Well,
Rabbis having sex with young teenage Jewish boys, young teenage Jews and young Jewish boys. Yeah,
let's not forget the 8-day-old Jewish boys, right?
sucking their dicks. Well, now hold on though. Is it really their dick? Because the foreskin's been cut at that point. Well, no, I thought they're sucking the foreskin off, so it's not really part of their dick anymore. And come on, Irving, your saliva actually is antibacterial, so it's actually a good
It
thing.
is not. A number of infants, died of a
From
herpes
herpes.
infection.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's, ah,
No, there is a vast network of elite pedophiles running all Western nations and probably some Eastern nations as well. I wouldn't be surprised if Xi Jinping, uh, you know, had his way with people under the age of consent. Why not? Who's gonna fucking tell him no?
yeah, uh, but yeah, so now you have, the TQ and the Muslims, fighting.
So what you're saying is that Maxime Bernier has locked down the Muslim and Christian vote in
He may
Canada.
well have.
Yeah, because he's the only one who speaks out against gender ideology, not the
Yeah.
conservatives,
Well, I
not Pierre
mean,
Poilievre.
I
I think the Bloc Québécois might be a little bit too, because I think they're not really on board with it.
hmm, yeah, and the UN just said kids can be sexualized. Uh, yeah, like in terms of prostitution, the rules like you can have an age of consent, but it has to be done case by case because children mature at different rates.
Of course they do.
Yeah, so you know, I mean, like, when do you know the date of the Manitoba by-election
Uh,
for Maxime Bernier?
I don't. I thought it was. I
Is
don't
it
know.
this Monday?
It might be this Monday.
Fuck, because he was strongly in second, uh, but it wouldn't take much to put him in the lead. Like it was like 43-27, and that looks like a really big gap. But if you can just shift 8%,
Mm-hmm.
right, that puts him on track to win.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Who's in the lead? Is it
The conservatives, yeah.
conservative? You know what? Like better a conservative than a liberal, but I don't
Not
think does
really.
Manitoba even have a liberal party?
Yeah, but I think they're polling very low,
Yeah,
like in the teens. But yeah, like no, it doesn't matter because it's like better a sub liberal than a liberal. Uh,
people are too stupid to vote properly. You're absolutely right, CMAC. That's why the Canadaman Party is running on a platform of super suffrage, not regular suffrage. So, and if you want to know about super suffrage, I can explain it, but
uh, we're running low on time, and the whole point of starting early was so that I can get to bed early. We can stick around for a few minutes, but we're not going to get into the whole super suffrage idea.
no, that's fine. That's fine.
Uh, do I have? Oh, okay.
Hey, amo.
Aliens.
Aliens.
So what do we think? Aliens?
Are aliens real?
Like they exist. Are they
Not
visiting
sure.
us and giving us technology, or are we
No, I
stealing
don't.
their crash
I
technology?
don't. There might be aliens giving us technology, but I think there have been aliens crashing on planet Earth for a while, and I do think that they are reverse engineering technology. This is so Doctor. What's his name? Scott or Stephen Greer? Scott Greer.
Scott Greer, yeah.
Doctor Scott Greer. He is a doctor, right? I think he is. Anyway, so Scott Greer is this big UFO cultist. Gave a had a little what do you want convention or something in DC, I want to say, and there were a bunch of former military who were coming out telling their stories of what they encountered with regards to alien craft and reverse engineered craft during their careers. There's some really interesting testimony that they made, but you had a theory on this, why this is all coming out now.
Oh, it's just distraction for the total Burisma death and
Yeah,
like the war in Ukraine. It's like, no. And of course there has to be the threat of alien technology to be used in the upcoming World War III against
yeah,
Russia, right?
yeah. I believe that's true as well. The reason that they're saying that that Tic Tac video footage, apparently that's man made, and so the understanding being that if word gets out that the U.S. is using alien tech or the U.S. has alien tech, then Russians will be less likely to want to engage in full scale conflict because they don't want to have to face off against alien tech because the U.S. is likely to use it and just say, all right, fuck it, we'll let it all out. Yes, we have alien tech. Yes, we have anti gravity. And yes, we can destroy a city with this technology and not even break a sweat.
Fake alien invasion is the next thing. Well, I mean, what was that Las Vegas backyard giant alien story?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has
It
these
might
big
be fake.
eyes.
I have no idea. It could be real, could be fake. I
Well,
haven't
they're
seen enough.
well, they were putting it on mainstream news, so it's fake. They reported it
Good point.
widely, and so it's
Well,
bullshit.
because I think the reason they're reporting it is because it's hot right now, and the reason it's hot right now is like you said, it's propaganda. It's a, but yeah, doesn't mean it's all fake just because it's propaganda.
What's this? Richard Dote 2.0? I don't
Richard
know what that
Doty.
means.
Richard Doty was a he was a gaslighter working for the Air Force. He would basically uh, he would go to all these UFO cons and stuff like that and talk about things that were discovered and sightings and that sort of thing as though he were an authority on them. And as a matter of fact, he was actually working for the government to spread disinformation.
Huh. Yeah, like, I mean, if they're talking about it openly and trying to convince the public that it's true, then it's fake. It's like it is so simple. Just believe the opposite of what they're trying to tell you, and you're probably right.
Yeah. What's this about DEW weapons? What's DEW? I don't know what you mean by that, CMAC.
Yeah, I'm don't know the acronym.
If they've even detected then climate change isn't a problem. Well, of course it's not. It's not a problem anyway. And but that doesn't matter because the climate cultists won't care.
No, of
They'll
course
still
not.
be like, no, we need to stop using cars.
Well, look, if they had the tech that could, get you to intergalactic space travel, that's infinite energy.
Hmm.
So why would you need to burn carbon at all? You'd
Right,
have free infinite energy.
right.
Direct energy weapons. Yes, thank you. The space lasers. Hello.
It's true. I mean, it kind of would really put a damper on Elon Musk, right? If it all came out that, yeah, actually, we do have anti gravity, he's like, what the fuck am I building these ridiculously big rockets for? Why aren't we just going to fucking Mars with anti gravity? That's the thing. If they have to show their cards and say, okay, yes, we have alien tech, and yes, we can do anti gravity, then basically that changes everything. Now that could be in line with the idea of the Great Reset, the 15-minute cities, and turning the entire planet into a population of serfs that work for the political and intellectual elite. Because like, hey, we've got all this technology, nobody has to work ever again. We can roboticize everything. We can get anywhere we need to get as fast as we want. We can
Mm.
even go to Mars and start colonizing it. Technology exists to do it. Like, what are we toiling for in this capitalist system? Why are we making these innovations with ancient technology such as chemical fueled rockets when we can anti-grav our way to Mars? Let's just do it. And then everybody be on board. Okay, yeah, I'll be living in a communist dystopian shithole where I don't own anything as long as I'm taken care of and I have a hover skateboard. That's what's going to happen.
You can make DEWs in your garage if you can afford the lithium batteries and the old microwaves,
Sure.
apparently.
You can, yeah. You can.
That's pretty fucking frightening. Where was this? Pissed me off that they edited the body cam footage. Wait, is this of the alien in the backyard in Vegas?
Las Vegas, yeah. Yeah, they said, oh, it's to protect the people, the neighborhood. We don't want to show private property. I'm like, that's horseshit. I've seen tons of body cam footage videos, and they don't
Yeah,
give a fuck about private property. That's
yeah.
horseshit. They're hiding something, obviously.
That it's not an alien.
Could be.
That has to be what they're hiding. It's like
Yeah,
an
it's a guy.
alien
It's a
opening
guy in
cigarette.
a guy in a suit smoking a cigarette, like that X-Files episode where they come upon the alien. It's like a guy in a suit. And he's fucking smoking a
Yeah.
cigarette.
I'm an Asgardian. I get to go first. Screw you guys. I want off this planet.
Do you want to go to Asgard? Which isn't a planet; it's just a big floating rock with a glass rainbow colored bridge for all the trannies to fucking walk down.
Hover skateboard would be dope, though. Not gonna lie.
True, it would be dope. It would be dope. Fucking Back to the Future shit. I'm made for space, and I'm already on NMN. I don't know what MNN is.
That's
Let's
that
go.
supplement I think she was telling us we need to take, and everyone should take it because it's good for you. And I can't remember what it's called now.
What's it called? What's NMN? You gotta
Yeah,
you gotta unpack it, C-Mac.
something happened. What happened?
Let me ask you this, Irving. We're over 2 hours now, but let me ask you this real quick.
Shoot.
Let's say they open up colonization of Mars to just your average everyday schmo. So you don't have to be an engineer, you don't have to be anything fancy or special technical. And they say, hey, you can get a free trip to Mars. You're just going to have to live there for the next 20, 30 years. Would you go?
Depends. Is this from the government or is it like Elon Musk and free enterprise?
Elon Musk.
Then yes, I would go.
You would go?
Yeah.
I would too. I would too. They probably wouldn't take me because I'm too old. But if I was, you know what I mean? But if they said, look, we need people on Mars to do all the shit because the robots can only do so much, and there's lots of shit that needs to get done. Plus, we need to build up the population of Mars if it's going to be a viable, second place for humans to thrive. And we're accepting anybody of a specific between a specific age, and they allowed people who are over 50 to go. I would in a fucking heartbeat.
Well,
Now, would
look,
Melina go? I don't know. She might not.
take can you take care of plants?
Can I take care of plants?
Yeah.
I'm sure if I received instruction, I probably could. Yeah.
But like, okay, like you're not one of those people that no matter what plant comes across, it just dies.
No.
You can water a plant and it will live. Okay.
Water a plant. Yeah. I can
Because
plant seeds. Yeah.
robots can't really take care of plants.
Not yet. No.
No, probably never. Because we discussed this on your show last week that pear trees are the one that it's most dramatic.
Oh,
But
right. Yeah. You
plants
mentioned that.
develop a relationship with the people tending them. And they grow much better if the people tending them actually care about the plant. Not just, oh, this is food and we do this specifically, but they actually touch the plants and talk the plants and like, look at this one, look how it's going. They get excited.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
actually like building these weird connections in these weird ways.
Positive feedback loop. Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, and like the marijuanas I told you about, like it's you can't say that each plant has its own mind. I don't think that's the correct way to say it,
No.
but they definitely develop attitudes, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's biological connection, right?
Yeah, right. And yeah, so robots will never get the best out of a plant, right? Human interaction is
Nicotinamide mononucleotide. Okay, and where do I get this NMN, CMAC? It prevents DNA damage. There we go. Where do you get it?
probably Amazon. Whatever it was an event. It seems too goofy to be staged, to be honest. Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
the kid who was like, who had a fucking Glock in his hand when he went into the backyard with his dad and his mom or whatever. He didn't seem like he seemed legit. He seemed genuine.
yo, there's a fucking alien, 8-foot alien with big eyes. I'm getting my gun. Yeah, that's
Absolutely, yeah. I would too. I'd fucking have my. I'd take my Ruger. I totally would. Absolutely.
yeah, but not like fruit and veg plants in a way that can feed entire populations.
Right. So
Uh,
these things have been um, these things have been sort of engineered by us
mhm.
to produce fruit. So they have a. It's like dogs, right? Modern domestic dog evolved alongside humans. Modern
Well,
domestic dogs kind of require humans to like live a full happy life. Otherwise, they become wild dogs, and then they're not
yeah.
nearly as good predators as wolves or coyotes. So, in a situation where they've got to compete with those predators, they're not going to do very well.
Uh, broccoli isn't real.
Neither are pigeons.
Sure. But there's no such thing as wild broccoli. It was like hundreds of years of human crossbreeding plants to develop a broccoli,
What
and
was
now
it
we have
crossbred
broccoli.
from, though?
I have no fucking idea, but like it didn't exist in nature. Like it wasn't a thing that would have happened without human intervention,
That's
and now we
interesting.
have broccoli.
I love broccoli.
Uh, and yeah, like pear tree, you start tending a pear tree, and then you stop, or say you die, like my dad did. The pear tree stops producing pears for a decade. It's really it's fucked up.
Yeah, that is messed up. But they're finally producing them again. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but they're not great because I'm not really taking care of it. I'm not doing the right prunings and stuff, and you know,
What's the matter for
I
you?
know,
You got to start talking to your plants, man.
but I never had that relationship with the pear tree. Uh, yeah. Oh, and I don't know
Um,
if I told you this. A buddy of mine, his dad passed away a couple of years ago. His pear tree hasn't
Still
produced pears
producing.
since. Yeah,
Weird.
yeah.
C-Mac, where do we get broccoli comes from wild mustards? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, okay, I can see that because mustard seed is it has a similar look. Mustard plants has a similar look to it.
Oh, there it is. Amazon. I use the Arkwell brand.
Arkwell NMN. Okay, good to know. And how much? I guess I'll read the dosage. All right, I'm going to look that up after we're done here, which I'm guessing we should probably soon.
Gene editing for the win. And Brussels sprouts taste different than when we were children because they're all a new, recently discovered cultivar. Cool.
Oh shit, eh? Either way, I like Brussels. I like Brussels sprouts. I like broccoli. Um, my wife.
Oh, remind me to send you the video of the guy who hooked mushroom and fungus colonies up to a synthesizer. It's eerie as fuck.
Yeah, I
So,
want to see that.
guy, my heart,
It might be good for you too.
maybe. But sorry, the mushroom thing. Mushrooms uh, aren't really vegetables. They're like,
No,
we
they're
talk
far from
animal,
their own.
vegetable, mineral, right?
Yeah.
They're not really vegetable, and they're not like they're not really flora or fauna.
Yeah, they're their own
They're
thing.
clearly not animals, but they're really not flora either.
Yeah,
They
they're
they
their
have
own
some
thing.
really weird behaviors that don't fall into either category, and like they can actually help trees communicate with each other through the
Hmm.
mycelium in the ground and shit.
Hmm.
It is fucked up, man.
Yeah, the world is a very interesting place with really amazing life forms on it.
Trust the fungus. Do you remember that Super Mario Brothers movie? John
Yes,
Leguizamo.
with fucking Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins. Oh my
Yeah,
god, and Dennis Hopper.
Dennis fucking Hopper.
Oh my god. All right,
Yeah,
so I'm gonna get myself some NMM uh, from Amazon, Arkwell brand NMM. I'm gonna start taking. Oh, have you heard about the benefits of turmeric?
no.
So I've been watching a few videos about because I want to get rid of the belly fat and the love handles and stuff. Apparently, there is a fat burning property in turmeric. So, and somebody's developed a recipe. It's like a natural recipe. You take, I want to say, a half a teaspoon of turmeric or a quarter teaspoon of turmeric, half a teaspoon of ginger, and you make a tea with it with some fresh ground black pepper, and you can sweeten it with honey. You shouldn't use refined sugar or sweeteners, but you can sweeten it with honey, and you drink that every morning, like first thing, and you do it for 6 to 8 weeks or whatever, and apparently the belly fat will just fucking melt off at you. I don't know if it's true, but apparently there's something in turmeric and something about pepper helps activate it, and ginger is just good for you all, in terms of like your digestion and stuff like that. That it helps deal with belly fat. Who knows?
You won't sleep too well for the first few days. The amount of energy is off the charts.
No shit. Okay, that's good to know. Maybe I should take some Ritalin too so I can focus. Imagine having all that energy and being able to focus on shit. I could get so much done.
Get Gordo high as fucking little loose on the oats. So, C-Mac was saying I should try and grow some mushrooms. I've got to be careful with what I grow in the yard, mushrooms in particular, because of the dog.
Right.
They can't eat the mushrooms, right? That's could be very toxic for them.
Now,
So
is she talking about psilocybin mushrooms, or she's
no, no,
talking
no.
about
Just like
edible?
growing like lion's mane mushrooms or
Yeah,
what do you call those? Shiitakes
yeah,
or
yeah,
portobellos.
yeah.
Something for eating, but got to be careful because of the dog. So
Mushrooms have been going crazy in my neighborhood lately.
things died.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but no,
that's
I just like everywhere I take a dog for a walk, like everybody's got mushrooms growing on their lawn. I'm like, wow, that's really weird. So either there's a lot of spore spread going on right now, or and I mean, spring is normally when that happens, right? But
well,
so
we had tons of
we had a
rains,
lot of rain for about a week. Yeah,
and that means that a lot of like ground-based animals died,
yeah,
right?
and
Like
dead
worms
matting.
drown, believe it or not.
Yep,
And so the mushrooms pop up, eat the dead thing, and then go disappear again.
yep, true enough.
Uh, but yeah, but also if you find the right ones, there's a lot of wild mushrooms that pop up that are psychoactive and fairly safe to eat once dried. Uh, fairly safe meaning they're psychoactive, right?
Right,
So like that's generally considered a negative effect for most people, but yeah, you got to know what you're looking for. So
good to
fun
know.
times, free mushrooms.
Well, sir,
Yeah, this is
you
the
have to work
time.
tomorrow.
Yes, yeah, that's why I've been asking you, can we go a little early? Because
Yeah, yeah, I'm fine
I
with
got to
that.
get up on Sundays.
And I got
And
to get up tomorrow. We're going to Melina's folks for breakfast, so
oh, very
I got
nice,
a
very
busy day
nice.
tomorrow. Got to mow the lawn. I might hit the gym. If I don't hit the gym tomorrow, I'll go on Monday for sure. But
Oh yeah, definitely hit the gym if you can.
yep.
I have some I have some mystery mushrooms growing in my compost pile. I might boof. So I don't know what they're called. I can't remember the name of them. But if they are fairly pale, almost like a regular old plain old, I can't remember what the word for those regular white cap edible mushrooms you buy at the
Yeah.
grocery store is,
Yep.
except on the end they have a distinct brown ring. Worth drying.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Good to know. I have
And
a bunch
next
of
time
shit in my compost pile. I throw everything in there. I probably have snakes living in there.
Cool. But yeah, do we have any final thoughts or anything before we go here?
Just trying to think. For all the dads out there watching tonight, I don't know if Jack Gunsky's still with us. I don't know if he's a dad. I know Pox is. Have a happy Father's Day tomorrow.
That's right. Happy Father's Day, guys.
Yeah, I'll be spending it with Melina's dad and then my dad, so that should be good.
Beautiful.
How about you? Any final thoughts?
Oh, we never did an oddity, and last week on your show we touched on stunted growth and puberty blockers,
Oh yes,
right? And yeah, no, you know what? Just look up fucking foot binding. Yeah, there you go. So,
yeah.
some
Some of those Chinese feet look like fucking pig's feet. They're
they
fucked
do,
up looking feet, man.
and it can't be fixed.
Nope.
Uh, our Father's Day is in September. Australia is just upside down the whole way around.
That's
Eh?
right.
Like, doesn't matter.
And the
It's just
water goes down the drain the wrong way too.
I didn't have one, and it's more of a Craig show segment. But yeah,
Yeah,
if
the
you've
no one
got
tells
one,
jokes anymore is an ammunition exclusive. I'm trying to think of a joke.
ballerina feet look good next to those.
Yeah, I think I can think of a joke.
The foot binding is illegal now. No, there's one last legal foot binding, and it's ballet.
That's right. I can't think of a joke. I'm sorry. I'm an unfunny bastard.
Water goes the wrong way in the toilet, right up your ass.
That's a bidet.
Sometimes I don't even think we need to be here. We just need to open it up and let the chat run, and they'll just make a
Yeah,
show.
we should do a stream one time. It's like, so chat, what do you want to talk about? And let them fucking just give us something, and then we just ramble about it.
Oh, yeah, we've done it before. It worked out well. It was a great show.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
but
the
no,
time we invited Costin in, and we invited CMAC, but she couldn't make it work. CMAC, you're coming on the stream at one point. You know that, eh?
just start your own fucking channel.
That's
Okay,
right. We'll watch. You'll get 2 subscribers right away, and I know Costin will subscribe. So
can we talk about pies? Yeah, all the time. We talk about food all the time.
oh yeah. Favorite pie?
Apple.
Yeah, I'm a fan of apple, but I think my favorite is probably pumpkin.
Fucking gross.
I love pumpkin. My wife makes a great pumpkin pie.
Nobody makes a great pumpkin pie.
Crazy. She makes a great pumpkin pie. Yeah, I
Okay.
need the attention that comes from that. Yeah, you do. CMAC, you have so much interesting things to say. So many interesting things to say, I should say.
You was this you asked?
You as that's what do you call the chat? Call-ins. How do you do call-ins on live stream? I don't know.
No, yeah, I mean we can do call-ins through here or open Discord and have people just come in voice, right?
That's true. We could do that. Yeah.
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 We
All right.
yes, we are asshats.
Yeah.
Apple pie, see? There you go.
Yeah. I like apple pie too. Don't get me wrong, but I love a good pumpkin pie. Irving, I'm out of here. You have yourself a great night. You have yourself a good day at work tomorrow. And
And yeah, you have fun tomorrow. Why I'm calling it. So yes.
all
Good
right.
night, everyone. Thanks for coming. Thanks for sticking it out with us. And we will see you next week.
Next week, ammunition number 35, I believe it is.
Link in the description. I haven't updated it for all your other channels, but I will.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, so all right. Good night, everyone. We will see you next week.
Peace.
Buttons pressed.